Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babbles, episode 388. I'm Chris Evans, Ticket Master, joined by...
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
So yeah, this week we've got so much been playing.
Or do we?
Our Golden Crosshairs Game of the Year awards.
Or do we?
And maybe some news or not, whatever.
I got news.
Don't worry, we got this. We're always prepared.
I just wanted to say that earlier Ticket was saying we hit our Oscar time limit. So yeah, we have to do Golden Crosshairs. That is the part you should be most worried about. Some people not being prepared at all.
Welcome to Aimless.
No games just like made you so happy and just blew your mind.
Do you know what I did last year? Do you know what I did
you raised a
last
child?
year?
Parent?
Well,
Because...
let's just let's go to we'll see.
You played a bunch of Paragon. I know that.
We'll see.
Well,
Like,
we know
every
that
day.
happened. I mean, I was there for that.
All right.
Well, actually, Tropical, if you really break it down, last year was like year one of Darkest Timelines. So technically, we were all in this together, and we've been through things.
We got huddled
But we're still
together.
here.
I mean, the outside is on fire.
It's like so funny. Tropical's like, you know what happened last year? Like, there's a lot of bad things
Well,
that happened. I'm like,
that's a loaded question.
there's a long list. It's mostly bad. I don't want to go
A lot
there.
of things happened. A lot of things happened.
My brain is like,
Most of which were not good.
It's like, first I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yay, video games, and like, oh no, Darkest Timeline. What happened? Why?
Yes, time.
Not over yet. No.
I was not actually referring to any of that. But
it's fine.
anyway, yeah.
Oakley dokily. So yeah, what you been playing? So on the handheld front, I finally did play some of that Radiant Historia goodness, and yeah, it is delicious. Wow, deliciousness. Wow. Yes, that word, deliciousness.
It's your life.
She's just like, no. It's like, it's great, man. Like, stuff happens, and there's this book, and it's like, lets you do things with time, and then it's all like, I can do this or do that, but there are wow, limits. There you go. Yeah, it's like not just unlimited power or time power, blah 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 blah. So it's like, with great power comes great responsibility. Don't F it up, Tekken. It's like, whoa, okay, whoa. All right, so there's like this.
But you effed it up, didn't you? You effed it up.
So I haven't like reached the full grasp of like what's going on because I haven't really played it very much. I'm still very early. I'm in the prologue, I think, still. So it's like I'm not even in like chapter 1 or act 1 or whatever. So stuff's going down, but looking forward to it. And the gameplay is like pretty cool. It's all like rows of enemies, and you can like knock them into each other, and then all comboing on them. It's like, ooh, I like this. So have not played a game like this before with the similar combo system or gameplay style. I'm liking it. So there's a lot of voice acting. I was like, whoa, this is a cartridge game, and there's like a ton of voice acting. It's pretty cool.
Well, that was added. So,
Ew. So yeah, that was nice. I was like, oh, it's not all texty. It's all like talking. I'm like, I like this. Good job, Nintendo. What else? Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the only thing I've been playing on handhelds because because yeah, I haven't really been playing anything else on handhelds. So yeah.
Oh no.
And I have been
This
playing...
is quickly becoming a gaming podcast where we don't play games.
Well, it's not like I haven't been playing. It's like,
It's like last week I didn't play anything. It's
I
like,
only play a limited amount of handheld stuff because I only play it at work, and so it's like it's not gonna come home and play my handheld console. That's not how that works, or device, whatever. I did finally play, however, Batman: Enemy Within episode 4, and yeah, you know how I said at the end of the last episode, I was like, man, I did a bad thing. People are gonna be angry. It was like the first time ever, I think. Okay, maybe not the first time ever, but one of those rare instances in a Telltale game where you start the next episode and you're like, I feel really bad. And then the game shows you, yeah, you did a bad thing. Here are all the bad things. And it's just like instant consequences for like the first 5 minutes of like all these dead people. And I'm like, ooh, Batman, how are we gonna
Whoops.
fix this? I kind of wanted to rewind and like do the other thingy just to see what happens, but I was like, I've been traumatized enough for one day. And then it got even better because it's like stuff goes down and the stakes are getting higher and higher. And then one of the characters is your all your interactions with them finally pay off, and I'm like, that could have went a lot of different ways. So I'm really interested to see when the dust settles at the end of the season how people had their relationship with this character go and how things went. Because there's a part at the end of the episode where it's like, you can not really side with this character, but you can kind of like maybe stop them, maybe, or I don't know. It's like it seems very like you can stop them from like doing something, but they're not. They kind of already did something bad. Wait, no, they didn't. Or did they? I can't remember. But man, it's just like you have to choose between them and this other NPC that's just been a stick up your butt the entire time of just like, you will do everything I
Like
say,
stick.
Bruce. Mwahaha. You're not getting away from me. I control everything you do, and I know everything about you, and you're not. I'll never let you go. Blah blah blah. And it's like, ooh, well. I mean, I didn't like you anyway, but this isn't anything personal. I just feel like I grew close to this person, and we're bros now. So F you, and he's my pal, and I may be doing the wrong thing here, but
You're definitely doing the wrong thing.
you deserve it. You deserve it. And it's like kind of crazy because they almost died. And I was like, well, they didn't almost die, but they're in a dire situation. But I felt no reason to like step in and save them. It was weird. I was like very like anti, or not anti, but like Bizarro taken in that moment of like not being the paragon. Save the person because that person's an a-hole. It's like, sometimes what goes around comes around, and it came around at that time because they deserved it. So F them, karma's a bee sometimes.
Oh
It was
my.
great. I loved it. Oh, also Catwoman. Oh man, it was like delicious. Like, cause stuff goes down at the end of episode 3, and like you have to make a choice, and I made the choice, but it wasn't based on like oh Catwoman, I love you. Yeah, I cannot live without you. Blah blah blah. But then she was all like, Bruce, I can't believe you did that. Oh, and I was like, we're just friends, lady. All right, keep it professional. We are here. We're here to like fight crime and save people. She's like, I'll be your wingman on this mission. We'll be buddies and team up. And I was like, oh, team up with Catwoman. Oh, it was great. It was great. I mean, then the fighting started though, and we were like outnumbered. It didn't go that well, but nobody died, so it's great. So whatever. So
Yeah, nobody died. That's wonderful. Good job, Tekken. I'm glad that's your benchmark. Glad that's your
it's like,
benchmark.
yeah, the two things. It's like, did anybody die? Is it the end of the world? No. Okay, all systems are green. Alrighty.
Like, oh, you might have lost an arm, but it's cool. You're still alive, though. So, little victories.
Could be
Little
worse. Just saying.
victories.
Looking forward to the finale because after Walking Dead, the New Frontier, man, and all the new mechanics with the whole this person relationship was this way in this way. It's like, yeah, man. After episode 4, I'm like, I'm ready. I am effing ready to see what happens because I think everything is like set in stone. But I know it's not set in stone. But then I'm like, can I repair the damage I caused at the end of episode 4 with that one person? And if I can't, well, F them because I didn't like them anyway, and I'm kind of ready to see them go. Because man, it has been a long season of them just like, having the chains on me and just like, you will do my bidding, ha 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 ha. You work for the division or the agency now, blah blah blah. It's like,
Division.
we'll see about that. Besides that, I played. Okay, some quick Arkham stuff because this month on my channel, I'm all like, I'm gonna do Arkham because my fans have demanded it because I put up a vote of stuff, and that's the one that won. So I played some Arkham Origins. It's still the best 3D combat game of the last console generation. I mean, I would give it like a tie with DMC after playing that because DMC is pretty Evan hot right now. Like, I mean, not hot right now, but like I played that and I was like, ooh, DMC, you touched me in that glowy spot. And the Arkham Origins, man, I played it and I like completely forgot about the martial artist dude, and that completely changes the dynamic of when you're in a combat section and like you're just going through and your combos are going higher and higher, and it's like, oh, effing martial artist, you're gonna just attack me and I'm gonna like think you're doing something, but I have to block and it's weird, and then read my combos. So that was a fun time, and then I played the Initiation DLC for the first time in a while, which is just some combat in Predator sections against ninjas and cool Asian aesthetics. It's awesome. And man, it made me want to watch that scene in Batman Begins where he's all like learning how to become, or not become Batman, but like train in his jujitsu and all that crap. And I was like, man, Okay. Here's the other thing is like to get off track. It kind of just made me be like, dude, where's my Black Panther game? Because it's like, you know, I went to see it, and I was like, oh man, I was like riding a wave after I came out of the theater, and then I got sad because I was like, why can't I play Black Panther game? Where's my Black Panther game? Oh, I could play Black Panther in Lego Marvel, but it's not the same. I don't want to play Lego Marvel as Black Panther. I don't want to go around and be like, oh, I got the Lego bricks. I'm getting Lego bricks. Blah 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 Lego bricks. It's not the same. I want to be a dude in a cat suit fighting dudes or whatever in Wakanda or not, whatever. It's whatever, dude. I just like Batman. It's like I'm a dude in a bat suit fighting dudes and stuff. That's what I want to do, and then I can't do it. And I'm like, man, if I just kind of pretend right now, maybe I'm T'Challa, but it's not the same. It's not the same. I can pretend, but it's not the same. So it's just like jonesing for a Black Panther game, playing Batman, but it wasn't the same. So
To the App Store.
so yeah, just a bit bummed out. And then after that, because I did all the challenge thingies, and I moved on to the Arkham Asylum because I was doing them in order, chronologically, not like the way that they take place, not like the date of release. So, you know, Asylum did the same thing, played as a Joker. That was a fun time, and I gotta say, missed effing opportunity of like, why can't I play as a Joker in the other games? Just saying, it's like, he's there, it happened before, and then City Night happened, completely missed opportunity. Don't even get me started on Arkham Knight. That's just like, every time I think about it, it's just, why did you? So yeah, you know, that was what I, you know, some, you know, repressed memories of Arkham Knight gushing here, but Arkham Origins, Arkham Asylum, still effing amazing, and it just never gets old, you know, being predatory stealthily, the predatory stealth.
That's not how that
you get
works
to
at all.
engage in when you're just like, you know, sneaking around, choking dudes out, and beating up on them. It's great. It's the best. And yeah, the lighting in some of the sections in the Arkham Asylum, it's like, you know, it really enhances it. I can see what people say, you know, they like Asylum better because it's all like nighttime, raining, and the thunder, and the guards, they get all scary, and they're like shooting at everything. They're like, oh, what's that noise? Ah! And it's like, it just adds to the atmosphere. It's like a better atmosphere. I will say, for sure, better atmosphere in Asylum than in City, but for my money, I will take City every day over Asylum. But Origins is still the top of the list for me in the series, so yeah. And then the only other... Oh, did I play anything else besides... Let's see... I don't think I did. I think, yeah, the only other thing I played besides that was the continued... but then the end of my crack out with Monster Hunter, because I got to a point and I started thinking too much about why am I playing this game, and it made me want to play less and less. And I was like,
that's the first mistake. You never do that.
I got pretty awesome armor. I don't need all the armor. I don't need all the weapons. I kind of want to try all of them out eventually, but I'm doing pretty good with Longsword. I don't really need to switch. Like, why would I switch? But then the Aloy thing happened. I was like, that was pretty cool. And I was like, running around with Aloy, the bow, and I was like, I never used this before. So now I have like a whole reason to play. Like, I think I'm just like replay everything as Aloy and be like, you know what? I can have Horizon again for like a whole however many long time. Wow. However long it takes me to play this.
With meat dinosaurs.
Yeah. It's
Instead
like
of
actual
robot
dinosaurs versus robot dinosaurs. It's like, I have trained for this with my focus and everything else, and now that was just a simulation. Now we're in the real Monster Hunter Astera world. Alternate timeline, whatever you want to say. Or maybe we are. Maybe this is just, you know, we are after the old ones. We'll just make it up. We call it Astera now. We call it Astera now, and I'm here with my bow, and I look like this.
And the robots grew meat that we want to cut off of them and
That's
wear
not how
as
that
clothes.
works at all.
Just like we did in the old days when they were robots.
They grew meat.
It's not wrong.
Yes, all the biomass
They grew
that we're
everything.
feeding off of, they slowly evolved into the actual robot dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And now we
They were
must
supposed
harvest
to
them
eat
for armor
biomass, and then
weapons.
that let them do stuff, right? So
Yeah,
now
but
they can
true.
create biomass.
Which is scientifically not possible, technically. That defies like so many laws of science.
You can turn biomass into biomass. It's
To
not
a
gonna be-
degree.
We could do it today. It's not going to be pretty, but we could do it today.
I mean...
You take a cow, cut it open, and wear it.
Ta-da! But that's not what they would be doing.
Yeah, and then like in Horizon, they're like way even more into the future RPG, so they have like way more advanced stuff.
I don't think this is.
They'll just eat all the.
Just like the dolphin puree, man. Just like they just reverse
Gross.
it. It's like instead of eating it, they make it.
They'll eat the turkeys and then spit out the meat onto their metal endoskeletons. Well, they become endoskeletons because they're on the inside of the meat.
Of them now. Yeah, let's say gross. Also gross.
I told you it wouldn't be pretty.
I mean,
And then after a long time, that dead meat evolves into the weird forms that you see in Monster Hunter. Wow.
I don't know if that's...
We have made the perfect connection between these two games.
How? I mean...
And it's still Aloy's face because of the whole... Wait, I can't say that. But
Spoilers! Also, stabbing robot dinosaurs in the butt.
That is the thing still. Yes. And there's tall grass.
You're still stabbing robot dinosaurs in the butt.
And you have a pet watcher.
You get to cut off their butts.
They're just on the inside.
Well, technically your butts are always on the inside. I mean,
but it's still robot dinosaur butts on the inside.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
After
it's like
you cut through the fleshy butt.
This is happening, guys. We're having a discussion about butts that are robot related because reasons.
Yeah, I got to the part where you get the 100 rank quest thingy, and I did that. And then I was like, well, there's nothing else, is there? I don't know, maybe, but I was like, let me kind of slow it down, because that was, oof, man, that grinding, man. I was just like, okay, after I got to 100, I was like, okay, let me just relax here. Like, let me take a breath here. I'm like, okay, let's take a inventory. What needs to be done, Tekken? And I looked at my weapons. I was like, okay, I need these things. And I was like, looking at the armor. I was like, okay, I need these things. I slowly got all the things. Well, not all the things, but the stuff I wanted. And I was like, well, I got the stuff I wanted. So yeah, timbered monsters. Yeah. But then that part, I gotta say, everything else in the game. Okay, not everything else, but like 90 to 95% everything else in the game is pretty much perfection. And then like the timbered, story aside with like the weird fanciful BS whatever handler smithy cat person stuff going on.
I should point out it's a world full of robot dinosaurs with meat on them. So I mean, it's gonna be weird.
So yeah, that aside, maybe Devil Joe's will be out, maybe not, whatever. And I was like. But then they had they had the Street Fighter thing before, but then they had the the Wiggler thingy, and then the Aloy thingy. So at least there's like stuff to come back to, if not every week, every now and then. And there's still like the weekly limited thingies to get all the gold or variant prints, so you can get like the sweet gems that you don't feel like grinding for, because it's like, oh, I got my print, I'm just gonna hand it in for the gem. Oh yeah, so that's kind of just the slow going point where I'm at now. But then I saw. Dario retweeted something on Twitter today where it's like there's going to be an event where you can get a bunch of tempered monster tracks, and it'll be like a bunch of tempered monster quests, which is just basically what I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to like clean out my investigation queue, and like everything that's not tempered monster is like getting deleted, and then I'm just going to like completely farm the crap out of that. So I never had to work for it, and have like a bunch of tempered monsters and be like, yeah, I'm good to go. Because I was needing to get stuff for augmentation, and then when I got to that point too, I saw how expensive it was. I was like, whoa! Because I just got my like $1 million Xenia trophy, and I like blew through it like nothing. And I was like, dude, I thought it was made. I thought I was like, I made it to the top of the mountain. I got a bunch of money. I got my high hunter rank. I got all the weapons I want. I got some sweet armor. I'm good to go. And then I wasn't good to go, and I was like, and then like I was like, okay, what do I need? Tempered monsters. And then it's like you can't really fight them as often because you have to find the tracks, and the tracks don't really appear as often unless you're in a hunt with them. But then you just follow them around. I was like, could have been implemented better. So I was like, I'll just take a break here. Just be all casual, fun times. And I'm doing this Arkham thing on the side this month, so it's like I'll just take it easy. So. I will pop back in super hardcore though for the tempered monster tracks because I need that. So looking forward to it, just like I did for the I think this week and the week before there was a quest with like well, not the week before, but like the last week before this week there was the cherry blossom something quest with like the tempered Legiana and I want to say Pink Rathian, and you got like a bunch of extra HR
Oh,
for
those
that.
two things. Ugh.
So I just did that one over and over and over and over and over and over, and I was like, that kind of yeah. I was like, like I said, like the last time I was talking about this game, like I'm enjoying the grinding in this game, but then like there's just limits Tekken has after a certain point. Like he can only grind it so much, man, and then his glowy green spot, okay, glowy orange spot. I mean,
Oh
he's
my.
like, it's like I need a break, Tekken. I need a break. Let me chill out, man. You too much happy fun times.
Rubbing yourself too raw there.
In video game land. Shut up, RPG. I was like, you know what, glowy orange spot. I think you're right. I think I'm kind of. I don't want to Destiny this and just be like, and just like completely hate the game. So it's like, let's just while we're still in the love side of like, oh, Monster Hunter, I love this game, it's so fun, blah 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 blah. Let's not like let our whatever thingies or whatever. I'm sorry. Let our
whatever thing
love that is just like overcoming us to just play and turn into, oh, I can't stand this game, blah, 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 hate. So I just like while I'm on top, I'm just gonna like take a break and be like, I'm gonna still enjoy it when I come back, and when Dojo comes out, I'll be effing ready. I'm still pumped. So yeah, I am still pumped and ready for that. And yeah, that's all I'm playing.
I too have played Monster Hunter, though not as much, and really, I'm like way behind everyone now.
Oh no!
And I was like, I don't know if it matters, but I don't know.
Of course it matters, Tropical. None of us like you anymore now. No.
No.
No, I'm kidding. It's fine.
Yeah, I have no idea what I want to do at this point in the game. Cause I finished the double Beetlejuice thing,
Ugh.
and then I was like, okay, that was not as hard as I thought it would be. And actually, those were the first Beetlejuices I had ever fought.
Fully fought?
Yeah, I've
probably
shot at them, but they were, in the way, and that's why. Which was really funny because later, when I fought a non-tempered one on purpose, we failed, but I got a gem out of it. I was like, oh, that must be infuriating, but these guys are random, so they don't know what happened.
They don't know the dark truth.
But yeah, really, so I started with bows, and I was like, oh, it looks like lots of people are using bows. And so when I go to SOSs or I like fire SOSs, I often end up in teams that are entirely long range. I was like, that's weird. But I guess they're a lot easier to use now, so I guess that makes sense. So I wanted to switch to something that people aren't using, and I went for the gun lance. So now I'm just like, yeah, gun lance is fun because I just want to block everything. I'm gonna tank the world, which has been pretty fun. But now I feel like, you know what? I should learn how to attack and like do lots of damage with this. Because I already know I can block everything, which is fun. But then, if I'm soloing, like blocking doesn't kill them.
It does not.
I don't know if it even makes them tired.
It does not. Eventually, they're just gonna be like, I mean, I guess, but
Eventually, they do just leave. Like it's not. If you don't hit them, they just like keep hitting you, and then like, I don't know what's happening here, and they leave.
It's fine.
They go on to the next place. But yeah, so I've been playing around with that, and then I was like, it feels like I don't know, or so. At first, I thought I was like, maybe this weapon just isn't that powerful. And I was gonna try other weapons. I was like, okay, I already have this armor that lets me block everything. So I might as well try other things that have guard. And that's when I learned that knockback, the flinch-free skill,
yes,
doesn't affect guard knockback. It only affects knockback when you get hit. Which explains like a weird thing that occasionally happened to me where I would miss a guard and I would get hit, but my character would have no reaction. I would just lose a chunk of health and just be wait, why am I almost dead? It's like, oh shoot, I missed all those blocks, but because there's no knockback, I just like ate the hits and just like lost all of my health. But yeah, like guarding, it's the guard skill that affects how far you get knocked back. And since I already have that at max, it's like, oh, okay, so I can just try anything that has guard. And it turns out that like the first thing I tried was shield and sword, and the knockback, I guess, must be really huge when you don't have full level guard.
Oh, you should see yourself getting like flung around like a rag doll. It's fun.
Because you get knocked still pretty far with maximum guard using sword and shield. It's like, oh, so that's not what I want. I want to be able to stand, like a rock, and then poke people. So yeah, I guess I'm just trying to figure out how to best use the gun lance. And I've just been going on random SOS responses, and a lot of those, like, people die very quickly. I'll join in, and then the team will fill, and then like the last person won't even be in the mission yet, and someone will have died already, and it's like, okay, well, I guess we're going back to town now.
Like, I just got here.
That is like the opposite way of the way I play Tropical. I will just put a quest up and like fire off an SOS flare as opposed to doing other people's quests, because I'm just like, all right, you answered the call, you should be ready. You know what you're in for. You read the quest description. You saw the hunter rank level involved.
Maybe. I mean, I guess I do that, so that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
I guess the thing is, in the beginning when I was like, okay, I'm going to get all the bows, I was looking at, okay, I need this, so I need to go fight this thing, so I need to have this type of equipment to go fight that thing. And it was sort of like this daisy chain of, okay, where do I start? Like, what's the first boss to choose in this Mega Man game? And then after a while, I was like, well, I have like 3 gun lances, and I'm just like, I don't really know what I'm going for. I just want to be better at the gun lance. So I guess it doesn't matter what thing I fight. I'll just like fight whatever. And that's why I just like go respond to SOS, and it's like, oh, these people need help with the story. That's only a hunter rank 14, so this is possibly their first time there, or they failed multiple times there. So I'm just gonna go help them. And I just keep doing that over and over again. And that's pretty much all I'm doing right now. It's like, I'm not sure what I'm doing in this game anymore. I'm just messing around.
Tropical has no direction.
I have no direction.
He's aimless. He's aimless.
Woohoo! Yeah, it's really different. Like, when I was playing Paragon, I was just like, it was very regular. Like, I was playing regularly. Never before have I sort of followed a schedule. Besides Destiny, where it was like every Tuesday, like Paragon was very regular for me, and it was like a lot of days, basically every day, at around the same time. And then I was thinking, like, okay, what I have leaving out the question of whether I should have used that time like that. If I have that time, can I fill it with Monster Hunter? And I just have not been able to do that at all. I'm just always like, wake up and like, oh, well, recently it starts snowing here again. I was like, so I have to shovel.
No, what's snow?
But,
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I wake up and was like, should I play Monster Hunter now? I was like, I don't know if I want to, because I don't really know what I'm doing.
He's aimless. He's aimless. Someone give him some direction.
I should just try to get all the gun lances, huh? Or something.
That's what I made my own objective. I was like, I'm going to get all the long swords. I'm still missing the arena one, because it's like, 2 Diablos and the other one with the Adagana and the roly-poly. Oh, no, double roly-poly one, so. And you have to use loadouts. Yeah.
You do. I want to get the arena bow, though, so I need to fight like a Baroth and something else. I mean, I don't use bows, but it looks pretty, so I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, that was really neat, because I sort of expected all the weapons to be kind of similar looking, but there are ones that have very different looking parts on them, like the bow that you get from the ice butterfly.
Yes.
It like
Because
opens
it
up and
depends.
it has like a shield looking thing on it.
The ones that are special are the ones that have like the different names to them. The ones that have numbers just look like normal stuff.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And there's that one with the horse on it. I was like, oh, I do want that. So I guess I do want the bows, but I don't know.
The seahorse must be Kushalas, because that's what it was in the previous game.
I guess it's really cool that I can see lots of different directions, and maybe that's why. Maybe it's like, oh, there's too many directions, and I don't really know. Like, it feels like there is possibly an optimal way to do certain things, and I'm just like kind of lazy right now, and I don't really want to think about how to do that. Because I was playing with my brother who plays the Japanese version, and the decorations in the Japanese version, like in your list, are sorted alphabetically, like Japanese alphabetically, whereas in the English version, it's just random, right?
That is annoying.
I think so.
And I just sit there, it's like, I don't even know what I have, and
All of the things. All of them.
it's like every time I'm trying to set decorations, like, oh, I don't know. I guess anti-paralysis, because that's really annoying.
Well, that only works if the thing actually can paralyze you.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. So the weird thing I played this week was I picked it up during the VR sale. It was the Justice League VR experience.
I love Justice League. I'm kidding, guys.
Can't tell if serious. There was a previous thing that Sony released for Spider-Man Homecoming where it was like, so imagine the Batman VR game, but way lower budget.
Wonderful.
Actually, maybe that's not true. Way lower budget looking. And then it's sort of like there's less to it. So the Spider-Man Homecoming one was like, oh, you get to put on the web shooters, and you get to put on the Spider-Man mask, and then like you can use different types of web shooters and just like shoot at some stuff, and then it ends. And it was just sort of like this, promo thing that they released for free for that movie. The Justice League one costs money.
Oh.
And it's basically like the Spider-Man Homecoming thing, except that you get to play as all of the Justice League members in these little mini games. So, which one? I guess like Cyborgs is most like the Spider-Man thing, where it's like you have the two arms and you shoot at stuff, and you can also like switch on a shield.
So
and then,
no one else has arms?
Arms that shoot at things.
This is a weird game.
Well, so the weird part about arms actually is that they usually when you're using move controllers, like your hands are where you expect them to be. Like you're holding the move controllers in your hands, and then the system is tracking the move controllers, and like your hands are orientated in a way that feels natural when you look at them in VR. It's like, okay, I'm just like, sort of a neutral position, and I look at my hands and they're in a neutral position. In Justice League, I think they messed it up, because instead of having your arms in the neutral position, it's like you're holding arms.
What?
So, like in real life, you're holding like the move controller is perpendicular to your arm, right? And so usually, like that's what you see in VR. But in Justice League VR, if you look at it, it's like you can feel your arm in real life, and you feel the move controller in your hand, and then like in the game, it's replaced with an arm. So it's like you're holding two arms.
That is weird.
which is especially weird for the Wonder Woman one because in that one she's holding a sword.
So you're holding an arm holding a sword.
Holding a sword, and since it's like 90 degrees, it's like pointed back at you in the neutral position. It's like, why did they do this?
Seems legit.
It's just very strange. But some of like the Superman one is pretty cool. That one, for some reason, the arms are orientated correctly, and you sort of thrust them in front of you to fly faster. And then you push like the triggers to use like heat vision, and you're just like flying after these parademons, and like you're shooting them with your eyes, and it's like, oh, this feels kind of cool, even though it's very simplistic and shallow.
Just like being Superman.
It feels really cool.
Just like being Superman.
On the back of a box. Quote. This is cool. It's kind of simplistic and shallow. TrappedColumbusPodcast.com.
Yeah, like all of the games are like that. One like the Flash one is really hard. You're like running down like a subway tunnel, I guess.
Why?
So pump your arms to run faster.
I was gonna say, do you pump your arms?
You pump your arms to run faster, but then like there are obstacles like subway trains and like pipes and all these things, and so you have to like run up along the walls and on the ceiling, and you sort of control that by tilting your head, and it feels natural, except that it is like super hard to do because things are happening so quickly. And yeah, that one like I messed up the most.
Man, I kind of want a Sonic game like that now, where it's like that bonus stage with like in the tunnel in Sonic 2, where you get the rings and you have to dodge the spike balls.
In VR, and you control where you are with your head.
Yeah.
You gotta pump your arms to run
That
faster.
doesn't sound fun at all.
Fast. Gotta go
That
fast.
doesn't sound fun at all. Just want to put that out there. Side note, I saw the first few minutes of the Justice League movie, so yeah.
That's the only part that I thought was pretty good.
I can kind of see why. I mean, the only part I liked at the beginning was like that Wonder Woman part where she's like blocking the machine.
Yeah.
Or the machine. I was like, that's kind of cool. Most people don't even do that for her, but yeah, because it's like I don't think people knows that she is like fairly fast for and everything. It's like it's part of her power set. But
that reminds me of like an Aimless thing where it's like Hulk in that Ang Lee movie, where he was just like running really fast and like jumping. I was like, oh yeah, if he's like super, super, super strong, like he would be able to travel very quickly on feet, on like just
when he's running,
like,
yeah.
Oh, is that in the comics? I don't. That's
think
really
so.
Cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Seems like a high
times,
concept. We're like,
I think people like
if you
kind
thought
of
about
forget
He
things.
broke down the power set. Like, what could you do with this? Speed
Well, the thing is,
muscles.
But like Wonder Woman, obviously she has to have some kind of like level of super speed to block bullets. Because I mean, otherwise she'd be getting shot in the face all the time. But so it's like when you finally see them put that into action, it's like it's really cool because it's like it shows her basically like breaking into the bank vault and then like disarming these people quickly. But then when the guy tries to shoot all the hostages, she like does like this dash across where she's like blocking each of the bullets. I was like, this is kind of awesome.
That part looks super awesome.
So but I was like,
It also kind of is like, whoa, if she can do that, why didn't she just go and disarm that guy?
Because Shoptical, it couldn't have done a cool sequence like that if she would have, obviously. Because I thought the same thing, but I was like,
disarm
you
him,
could've
then
I was like,
he'll
you could've just took his
harbor
gun.
he'll be like, man, next time. But if you like do that, then he's just like, there's nothing you can do. Like, I'm done.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because I was like, yeah, why didn't she just grab the gun? But then I was like, this looks so much cooler though. So it's like it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like you could have avoided a lot of this, but it's fine.
What's really neat was like because for example, Superman is just like he wouldn't have to use his arms. Like she blocked them all with her arms.
Oh yeah,
That's why it looked really awesome.
I think that's what it was too. Yeah, she had to like block it all with her bracelets. Although I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman's technically invulnerable too.
Yeah.
I don't I think it's part of her power set because I mean basically she's basically like Superman. I mean she's just like a slightly weaker version basically. And she also doesn't have heat vision, but I mean aside from that, it's like she's basically him. From what I've seen anyway. I think they just kind of downplay it a lot of times because it's like, well, with the two of them around, it would kind of mean like, well, what's the point of anyone else?
He's got to do it with skill. Where Superman just gonna do it because he's like
staying there. Yeah,
it's nothing to me. Like I don't even know why you're trying.
Like I'm invincible. Haven't you learned this already? It's like no. We have to try. We're like obligated to at this point. So. But yeah, I mean, having the two of them around would kind of make things pretty trivial. So it's like, I don't know. So I guess that's kind of part of the reason why I'm assuming he's not in most of the Justice League movie. Like I said, I only saw the first part of it, so I'm assuming he's like not there for a good.
I think after that, the movie goes downhill.
Good. Then I'm glad I didn't see any more beyond that.
That's all the best part.
Good. So now I have good memories of that movie. So that's fine. I also saw Thor Ragnarok. But
that one's fun.
That one's awesome. I did not expect it to be as funny as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have quite a few funny.
I love the Stanley cameo scene where he cuts his hair. I was like, oh man, that was the best one. Like so far.
Please, kind sir, do not cut my hair. No.
That was kind of funny.
I like Korg.
Who, the rock guy?
The rock guy.
He was great. I was like, whenever he was, I was like, this guy.
Did you ever watch the Planet Hulk thing, the animated one?
No.
I did not.
Like, you would always think, Korg is gonna sound like a certain way, and just like the way they played him in the movies, so good.
He was he was kind of, because I mean he looks so intimidating, but then he talks and it's like, we're
gonna jump on that giant spaceship and get out of here. Wanna come?
I know. I was like, oh, that's so nice. Or then when he's carrying the thing around, and it's like, oh no, he's dead. I stepped on him earlier and just felt guilty about it. It's like, oh god. Oh yes, that was surprisingly amusing.
Very fun.
So now I'm only missing Black Panther and Spider-Man now. So
Black Panther.
I might just have to skip Spider-Man and wait until it comes out on Netflix or something and just go see Black Panther. Because it's like at this point, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it in time because Infinity War got bumped up a week. So I'm like, well, now I kind of have to hurry up. So I think I'll probably just see Black Panther and then just wait until Spider-Man's on Netflix or something. Because I can't miss Infinity War. That would be foolish.
All right, so yeah, Justice League is it's more so a game than Homecoming because it has leaderboards, but they're local leaderboards. So you're competing with yourself and anyone who wants to subject themselves to it.
You make it sound like it's not fun.
I'm gonna try to there's something you unlock, I guess, when you get the top score on the leaderboard. So I'm gonna try to do it, but yeah, when I play it, it's like there's just so many things in here that feel like missed opportunities. Like you could have done something here, and why did you make me hold the arms like this?
Or just like just like the Black Panther. It's my Black Panther game. Where's my Justice League game?
Yeah.
Where's my Justice League game? Do you see what the?
Wait, but the thing that you're unlocking, is it more content or it's just like?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I have no idea what it is.
I mean, they could just dial up effing WB Montreal. Be like, yeah, dudes, you canceled your Suicide Squad game, but we'll give you Justice League. Whatever.
Suicide Squad.
Just palette swap Batman with all the other people. Make it happen, make it work.
Make everyone Batman. Make everyone Batman. I just fixed your game for you.
Oh, the Batman part is like you're driving the Batmobile. But it's the Batmobile, so there's no. you run into obstacles like, well, that didn't do anything, and I guess they just like counted against your score. Like, it didn't feel good.
So you don't get to like fight?
You're basically driving a tank, so except it's fast.
Batman.
So you're just like shooting at other tank-looking vehicles and driving really fast, and then that's it. It's like, what?
It's not Batman at all.
Yeah.
It's like they've never even heard of him.
That is literally a missed opportunity, especially when Tropical's like, yeah, after Batman VR, like went to Spider-Man, downgrade. And then this Batman mode in this Justice League game, not even in the same solar system. Yeah.
The Batman mode. I mean, well, it sort of made me think, why didn't they just have Batmobile like driving sections in Batman VR? But maybe those wouldn't have been great because, you know, they made Arkham Knight and they heard what people had to say about that one. So.
Yes, all of the Batmobile, all of it. Because Tekken would not stop talking about how horrible that was. So, I mean, I was like, well, don't think I want to play that now. So,
the jury is out on that one. Guilty.
Because, yeah, all I heard when anybody ever mentioned that game, they're like, there's so much Batmobile. Why is there so much Batmobile? Even Riddler has you racing. Why? Why? It's like, I don't know. I can't answer that question for you.
Tank Batmobile. All right, so I'm done.
All right. Well, we've semi-covered some of the stuff I've been playing since Radiant Historia is something Tekken has been playing as well, and I have been playing that, so I don't really have to cover much on that. And I also been playing Monster Hunter World. But yes, I was kind of gone for like a week, so I didn't play a bunch of it. But apparently there's a bunch of random event quests that happened recently. So that's been going on. But I accomplished my goal of getting all the hunting horns. So now I can hunting horn full time now. And that is all that matters. That's all that matters. So, I mean, I started, I guess, trying to work on like armor sets so that way I can have some for different situations and everything. So that's a going thing, but I still haven't gotten to HR 100 yet, so I haven't finished everything like Dagger and Tekken have. So I still have work to do, so I can still like gather stuff in the meantime. So I'll probably figure out another weapon to start collecting and then go from there. But that's a lot of work, so I can take my time.
And then not having played the beta, since I hadn't been able to use the Rocksteady manual once I got it, I like to call it beast mode on, because you just get to just attack and not have anything. Like, it feels so good. Like Tropical was saying about the whole like flinching.
Well, that's dangerous because the problem is
it is dangerous, but it is fun.
Because also, so like I was mentioning, is that the problem is with that one is like, even though you don't flinch or anything, you don't realize that you're taking like a butt ton of damage if you're just like not reacting to it. Because there was a time when I was using the Rocksteady mantle against Kushala Darabalama, and I was running through the tornado without paying attention because you could just do that. But then I was like, my health is dropping like a rock, and I was like, oh crap, I'm standing in the tornado. So it's like, it's one of those things like you don't realize it, and so you're like, you have to be careful because you might accidentally get yourself murdered. So, but yeah, but
Zangief in Street Fighter, because I was fighting. I think I fought as a tempered Tiestra, and I was like, I was having that situation happen where like I'd have full health, but then like I'd see it going like red. And I was like, man, I feel invincible. I'm not taking
but you aren't.
But you're taking damage. But it's like, I feel so great. I'm just going in. That's so great. I'm just like, man, I feel like the thing. It's Clobbering time. And just attack. I mean, yeah, you're taking damage, but it's so it's just so empowering. It's weird, but it's like you're taking damage. It's like a weird dynamic of like.
That's kind of what Dagger does with the Vitality mantle. She calls it her Leroy Jenkins mantle. You know, like she's like, anytime you see me put it on, you should probably not be near me because I'm about to be super reckless. And I was like, oh gosh.
It's really funny because like with my like tank build, the thing that can kill me is if the floor is on fire.
The floor is literally hot lava. Then he's screwed.
I'll be playing like the final boss, and it has that thing where like it charges up or whatever, and then everywhere it walks is like lava.
Yeah.
If I'm standing there blocking, my feet still catch fire, and then I'm like, oh, I'm dying. I can block all the lasers and stuff, but yeah. The burning ground is my nemesis.
I mean, in all fairness, your shield isn't blocking the ground, so I guess it makes sense.
I'm wearing armor.
It doesn't matter, Troptical. It's not a shield. You might as well just be walking around in paper.
Just watching my boots turn into putty.
Basically. Although, even if you're in armor, if it's metal, then, I mean, it's conducting the heat, so... You're basically turning yourself into an oven. So, yeah.
I'm wearing pots.
Basically, yes. Basically, yes. Hopefully you're delicious, because soup's on. But, yeah. But yeah, I've been... Yeah, I think once you start to get later on in the Monster Hunter world, you kind of have to, or Monster Hunter in general, you kind of have to start setting your own objectives because eventually you're going to kill everything. So you're going to have to find other things to do, like gathering different weapons and creating different sets for later things. Because, I mean, they will have more events and everything going on, but I think Monster Hunter World had like probably had the smallest roster of monsters, if I'm not mistaken, from all of them. Because I've played the other ones, and there's usually a lot. Yeah, there's usually a lot more for the large monsters. So I think this is actually the smallest roster so far, which is likely because I mean I feel like Monster Hunter World was an experiment for them because it was because like I said, there was a lot of changes made to like the core game and the gameplay and everything. So I think this was kind of like a testing ground for what they want to do next. So when Monster Hunter World 2 inevitably comes out, because from my understanding, this is like their most successful game ever now. Yeah, so now when the inevitable sequel comes out, then it's probably going to have a much larger roster and everything and other stuff to do with it. But yeah, I think it was more kind of like a testing bed for what they wanted to do. So yeah, that should be fun.
Also, I keep seeing things in comments when I'm looking at YouTube videos about people talking about G rank. Is that a thing that's going to happen where it's like everything is going to kill me super easily?
Well, G rank was only in like it was kind of like beyond high rank, and that's where certain like elder dragons and stuff were locked behind. I mean, elder dragons you can fight now in high rank, so if G rank does become a thing, it's likely going to be if they're going to start like implementing like some of the old monsters like Fatalis or like the big giant ones like Lao or something. So, I mean, it could happen, but I don't know if it actually will. But yeah, it's a lot. They become a lot harder, and they sometimes gain new abilities and everything too on top of that. So. Yeah,
I think that's what they got to do. Like, I think the game would not feel as good if they just gave them more and more health. They have to give them new stuff that they can do to you.
Yes. New ways to wreck your life. It's like you weren't bent over nearly enough. So now, we'll make sure. So enjoy. But yes, I'm expecting a sequel, or at least a massive expansion, depending on whatever they plan on doing. Cause
and it is Capcom, so you know it's coming.
Exactly.
Expand. Please expand.
No, they'll probably end up doing a sequel.
No, I'm not ready.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens when Capcom has a successful game. It's sequel city.
So is a Hunter rank 100 the last like time the captain and stuff will talk to you?
I guess. I mean, I'm not sure because I haven't gotten that far, but I've seen people
but I guess we'll see.
I've seen people at rank 270,
Yeah,
so they still keep playing even afterwards.
I've seen so many like crazy hunter ranks. I'm like, I'm not sure if there's more or not. I guess I'll keep going. So
Or
I'm
they
not-
just really want, or they just really like playing. Because I'm like, eesh, that's super high. It's like I'm still like 80 something. It's like you're already
yeah,
at
I'm just like, how
200
did
and
you get
something.
there? That's just
What were you even doing? So yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, there's something compelling some people to keep going. So there's that at least. There's that. But other than that, I've been playing Trails of Cold Steel 2. Uh, Hero, what was it? Legend of Heroes, I think is the thing, something. That thing. Anyways, so yeah, I've been playing that because I had flights, man. So I had to whip out the portable for some fun times again. And so I started working my way through the chapters now, and then yeah, I mean, no major changes on that one, but so far it's like I like that they like that you can. I mean, that in this one they kind of like upgrading the class and everything because it's like in the previous game it's kind of like they're students, so they're just learning now, but now they're kind of like semi-experienced soldiers, so it makes sense that they're more powerful and they're refining like their techniques and stuff. So like the new moves and stuff you get, some of them are just upgraded versions of their old ones, and then they are getting some new ones, but then like even like their limit breaks are like a bit more elaborate now. So I'm curious to see how episode 3 ends up. That one got moved to the PS4, so that means it's probably going to be a bit more showy than these. But I'm also concerned about how that's going to work for people who played the Vitas, because it's like you can't do like the save bonus like you did with between 1 and 2. So yeah.
Shiny.
So I don't know. I don't know, and it makes me worried. But what can you do? What can you do except live your life, man, until it comes out? I mean, I don't even know it's going to get localized, so there's that as well. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, still been enjoying that. Going to work my way through it and hopefully finish it up sometime this year. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing, though. Puppy
Yes,
power?
that is the
I
fanfare.
don't. What's happening? Are we Scooby doing this? I don't know. Puppy power.
So yeah, Golden Crosshairs is our yearly Game of the Year award thingy stuff, whatever you want to call it. And I mean, last year we had like a weird, just like one award thing. I don't remember. One year we had like a really weird, like whatever, just like one award and like move on, whatever.
Did we? What? What are you talking about?
I think
What? That's what we did last year, right? After it was like very, very, very late in the year already, and was like, we should talk about 2016.
Oh,
Childhood remembers. But yeah, you know, we've got some
Peppered
categories.
Farm remembers.
And then we just talk about stuff, and then yeah, like all those other things that people do for Game of the Year and stuff. I mean, we have best game mechanic, which is what game mechanic implemented in a game this year made an impact on you. Best new weapon, which weapons, traditional or non-conventional, were implemented well within their universe. Best boss fight, what boss fights this year made you sweat, ooh and ah, scream with terror, and impressed you.
Oh my, who wrote that?
I don't know who wrote these. These are old.
Sounds like Tekken.
Biggest time killer or time suck. Which game absorbed
So
every hour
dramatic.
of free time you had as soon as it was placed in your console? Best looking game. Which game environment distracted you and made you drool every time you play the game?
Oh dear.
Biggest skeptical moment in a game. What moment this year shocked and amazed you and made you want to come back for more? Most overlooked / sleeper hit. Which game, while amazing, was mostly overlooked for other AAA titles during this year's avalanche of blockbuster games? And Game of the Year, which needs no introduction. It's like, my opinion. Or like whatever your opinion of the Game of the Year for that year. So yeah. So I guess we'll start at the top of the list and just go from one person to the next. Best game mechanic. For me, I would say the nuanced ending consequence choice, what have you, of The Walking Dead New Frontier. It saved the season for me, dude. I was like down on it. I was like, this is very backloaded with awesome, but front loaded with Javi and his family. So I wasn't feeling it, but then when we got to the end, it was like, oh, your relationship with this person, or these people, and then how it impacted it all, and it just dovetailed on your choices and consequences, and then because of what you did, that affected this, and then this person felt this way about you, and made them do this thing or not this thing, and how it all just came together. It's magical. It's effing magical, and it just like, man, I was like, dude, Telltale was like a whole other tier they went to. I was like, man, I was worried the whole time. I was like, man, I don't know about season 3, man. I don't know season 3, and they just like completely just blew me away and threw me around. I was like, dude, that was awesome. Just like, then like the fact that you can compare characters, like my character is not a expert survivor like Tropicals, kill everybody. I don't care about them, expert survivor, and I'm all like unbitten and whatever, and just like, oh, fantastical. It's amazing. It's amazing. Ah, just cannot wait for season 4 now. Just like, But yeah, that was like my favorite mechanic. So, you know, it was yeah. I can't say enough, so I'm just gonna stop talking.
Is it me, or do we want to hear the nuclear option?
Nuclear option! You could go ahead.
Okay.
Still trying to think of mine.
I'm going with talking to humans to play games with Star Trek Bridge Crew, which was like really weird. Like, when do you ever do that? Especially strangers, like almost.
So working as a team unit with other people, Tropical. The way you said that made it sound really weird, Tropical. I'm just saying.
It did.
Well, yeah, because like most of what you're doing is like talking to other people. The buttons that you actually push, there's like not very many of them. You're not really doing, especially in my case, it was 85% of the games I think that I played were with strangers.
Ew.
It was just like random matched with other people, and then and no one ever wanted to play captain, so I was always the captain. And the captain has like the least buttons to press. Like, the entire role of the captain is like, you're the only one who gets to see the objectives, so you got to tell people what's going on and like tell, you know, each person like, okay, what you're supposed to be doing and stuff. And this was like early days, so not everyone had played through every mission. And yeah, it was just like, somehow it was really cool like talking to strangers in a game and not have it be all like belligerent and stuff.
It's like, no, you shut up. No, you shut up. No, you.
That was really funny because like most everyone I played with had sort of pretty good knowledge of like the language of Star Trek, and so we'd be talking like all of this was real, and every once in a while you'd have this realization, it's like, my god, this is so nerdy.
Nerds.
Yeah. So yes, I it's not entirely new. I think like Ubisoft has been trying to make games where you make a game out of talking for a long time. But yeah, this was the one that's like, wow, that was really cool. I think that was really neat. And I don't think I've had that at all in games with strangers, like as part of the core design of the game. So, Star Trek Bridge Crew talking to do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking to do stuff.
All right, so I guess for me, it's going to be the ability to lie in Danganronpa V3 something other words, weird Japanesey title, other things. So that one. For those who are not aware, this game series, or the gameplay part of it, is like class trials, where you're pretty much trying to like find out who the killer is and all that fun stuff when they decide to murder one of their classmates. And during the debates, you have to like kind of like debate each other and figure out like where the discrepancies are. But then they added a new mechanic where you can actually lie during during the debates, which you can actually, if you do it properly in some cases, you can actually unlock like another route in the debate and kind of like change the course of things too. So, and they call them like back doors, but yeah, so it's a cool little feature where it's like you can do it like you can either go through the debate like the normal way, or you could actually like try to lie your way through in some cases and actually like discover other information that wasn't known previously, and open up different routes in the debate and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they changed in the debates are kind of were nice little additions too. I mean, there were a couple of things I didn't like, but yeah, overall though, like that kind of stuff, it was kind of cool for them to add that mechanic anyway to the debates, because that was fun. But yeah, so that would be my pick.
All right, best new weapon. Yeah, I don't really have really.
You better find
I mean,
one.
I do, but it's like, I'm not having like fond memories of like last year. This one weapon was just like, oh, so amazing. And it's been a while since I played Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm pretty sure there's something in there that's like, that was pretty cool. I can't think of it now, but then I'm like thinking to myself, actually, there's a gun in there, but then it's like, I think it was like an old gun that I just used the entire time, but it's like, it's not really anything super awesome. So I'm just gonna give it to Aloy's staff in Horizon Zero Dawn, because it's a magic. It's not magical, but it does a lot of things. Okay, it's a multifaceted device. All right, she can like sneak up on creature or robot dinosaurs and people and be like stab, 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 stealthy style, or just like I'll control it, ha ha ha. Or she can even use it to hack the tonics and be like, oh, open the map, ye majestic beast of ginormous sizesness and stuff. And it never breaks. It never. Okay, maybe it breaks, whatever. It does a lot of things. It's been through stuff. It is like a amazing artifact of the old ones, and it stood the test of time, and it helped me a lot. And I couldn't have got there without it. So you're a pretty handy dandy staff there, Aloy's staff, and keep up the good work. And you get to upgrade it over time and like do like a bunch of stuff that you can't do at the beginning. It's great. It's great. It's great. Smack stuff around with it, stun it. It's a fun time. Electric elemental attacks. It's great. Fun time.
Mine is the tripwire caster. Is that what it was called?
Is the tripcaster, the one that like
is that what,
the little
is
traps?
It a tripcaster? Like you would like you could stake the wires into the ground and then
they run over
and then they run over it.
Yeah, that's a tripcaster.
That thing was super funny to use.
It was.
Like I didn't even get the one where you can tie them to the ground until way later, because I thought it would be part of the story or something, but it was just a thing that you could go buy. So I never had it. But yeah, like using especially like you could do different elemental effects on the wires, and that was super fun to just like put the shock one everywhere and then try to get I don't remember what I was trying to do, but I distinctly remember like trying to get the Stormbird to run through an electric wire.
I don't
was like,
think
why
that
did
was
I
going to
do
be a
that?
good idea.
Maybe I was like out of everything and I was like, this is all I got.
You're just
like,
desperate.
Hopefully I can get it down.
This is it. All I got. How'd that work out for you?
I don't recall. I just remember the Stormbird fight being really, really long.
Probably
So, yeah.
because you were using electrical wires to fight it.
I like Horizon's Tripcaster.
I too am going to choose a Horizon weapon, because why the hell not?
They made cool weapons that
They
like
did.
I don't know what else there was.
The orb thingies that froze. I mean, there's like elemental versions of all of them too. So it's like you had like a bow, you get a fire bow, and like a lightning bow, or I don't know if you had a lightning bow. But
Well,
like,
that's the arrows. It's not the bows themselves.
oh, never mind then.
But yeah, I'm gonna choose the Tear Blaster from the same game, because I enjoyed using it to disarm things when they were like, "Oh, I'm super weaponized." I'm like, "LOLs, watch this," and then I started like shooting off all their parts with ease. So it was wonderful. was wonderful because I was like fighting. Because like initially, there's like a quest you do in the game, there you have to fight like a super version of the Thunderjaw thing. I think it was like Red Maw or whatever it's called, and it's like I was having trouble fighting it first. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because initially I would just go in and like set a bunch of traps all over the place and just like keep luring it around until like kept running into stuff. I was like, this is not working because it's still like being an a-hole. So eventually I was like, let me use this Terror Blaster I got a while back and never actually used. And then I started using it and just like knocking off all its parts with like no problem. I was like, well, this is just wonderful. So then it's like I was able to knock off all its parts, and then it was basically only left with the option of just rage moding me and just like charging everywhere. But then I could set all my trap wires then because it's like, well, now you have no option but to run through them. So you fell for my trap, you giant thingy mabob thing. So yes, Terror Blaster, man. Terror Blaster for the win. So yeah, that is my choice.
All right, best boss fight. Okay, I'm gonna give an honorable mention before I give my choice because
No.
it went over 9,000, but like you know, they both went over 9,000, and it's just like, dude, it's hard to choose because, like, I mean, I was not ready for like the double dose of super awesome Japanesey that I got last year, playing Gravity Rush 2, and then Nier, and then follow that with Event Horizon. It's just like but you know, I got that and it was great, and then in the darkest timeline. I needed it. But yeah. So Gravity Rush 2 gets crazy and it's like over 9,000. I just want to give it a nice, you know, little nod because man, it's not getting any awards, but dude, it did some awesome stuff. But Nier Automata, let me tell you, it was effing amazing because you fight this dude in an effing tornado and it just like goes over 9,000 as well, and it's just like whoosh, 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 and it gets crazy and it's epic and you're just like ow to me and then yeah, it's great. It's great. I was just like, man, that was like, I did not know the game would go there, and it effing went there. I mean, that being said, there's other parts in that game where it's just like, it's just as epic, and it's just like, that's just the tip of the iceberg, because it's like escalation of awesomeness, and it's like, how can you say that boss fight, and not that boss fight,
It's weird.
but then like the opening boss fight is just as good, but it's like, but it's an effing tornado. It's like, I have never played a game where I fought something in tornado, and I was like, I'm from Kansas, and there are tornadoes. I could not fight something in tornado because I'd probably die, but it's like, man, that was awesome. So
I would not recommend that, yes.
Nier Automata and 2B's fight with that dude in the tornado at the end of scenario A. Oh yeah, that hit the glowy spot, and I was like, ah. So yeah, there you go. You're the winner for that one.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Boss fights require you to finish games.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. I guess there's earlier boss fights. Now, I guess when I was thinking about this about 2 hours ago, the one that came to mind for me was the end of Tekken 7. Did that come out last year?
Yep, it did.
Yeah.
You're talking Heihachi versus or the
Devil Kazuya at the end. Well, it was really cool because like the fight escalates until you are fighting Devil Kazuya, and the last part they give you like
no health.
not a sliver of health, but like no health, and he has full health, and he's like super powered. But it was really cool because when you think about boss fights in fighting games, usually there is just like, okay, this is the AI version of this boss, this character, and you're just gonna try to beat it. So it's just like any other fight. But Tekken 7 was really cinematic, and on top of that, it really felt like a boss fight where it was like there were like patterns you could learn and figure out not to get killed, and then they did this thing like it. What made it really epic was I didn't know how to play Heihachi, but they give you these like cinematic shortcut keys. I think it was like you hold down a trigger or something, and then you push the buttons, and they do like cooler moves that you don't know how to do yet because you don't know how to play. And by you, I mean me. And it was just like super epic, and you just have this little speck of health. Although it's sort of cheated, like it looks more dire than it is because your tiny bit of health actually is really durable. So you only lose little bits and pieces of it, whereas you can do a lot more damage to him. And yeah, it was really cool. End of Tekken 7's main story mode. Oh, and also it's like it's sort of the end of that story. Like that's the beginning of Tekken, and you're just like watching what happens at the end of the Heihachi versus Kazuya saga, which you played through, and like some parts made more sense than others, but yeah, at the end it's like, oh, that was a cool fight.
I can't think of anything.
What? You played through New, right?
I
Some awesome fights in the
didn't.
game.
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, well, now you're a tropical RPG because I mean there was Persona. There's no cool boss fights in Persona.
There are, but I'm trying to think of which one I would choose, and I'm like,
We can get back to it if you want to.
I mean, because a lot of the so a lot of the main boss fights were like semi-puzzle bosses, so it was kind of cool with what they did with how you beat them and everything. But I'm like, I don't know which one I would choose as my favorite though. I mean, I could just nuke it and be like, all of the bosses, all of the bosses in Persona 5. But well, not all of them, because I mean, the first one was probably just normal, because that's how that goes with this game, or those kinds of games, because they're like tutorial kind of things. But no, they had like cool things where it's like one of the guys was like one of the boss guys was an like an artist type guy. So like part of his boss fight, it had him like turn into like separate paintings or something, and each of the paintings had their own thing, and you had to like figure out how to like counteract each of the things, and it can give you like a weird status effect that painted you and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, this is cool. And then they had another one where it's like, because it kind of depended, and there's like the one with the guy, and he was like eating people and drinking their souls and some nonsense like that, and it's all weird. So it's like they had some cool boss fights in there, but I'm like, I don't know which one I want to choose, because I enjoyed most of them, and I was like, I don't want to take one, so I'm gonna just I'm gonna do all of them. I'm gonna do all of them. Equal option. Do all of them. F it. Just F it in the B. F it in the B. So, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. All of the boss fights. Honorable mention does go to the boss fights in Nier Automata, though, because some of those are kind of cool. Especially like one of the ones that I both despised and liked at the same time was the, there was one, I'm assuming it's during a technically spoilery part of the game, but it's like it's like a double fight.
The 2v2.
With,
that was
with two B, and then like hot. You got and it's kind of like a side scrolling fight thing, and it's really cool how they did it, because it's kind of like an actual fighting game, but it's like two different planes going on, because it's like you're fighting one person while the other one is him Nines, as he wanted to be called. And I was like, what is wrong with you, guy? What is wrong with you? And he was fighting somebody else, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I think that one gets an honorable mention, because that was really cool. So, but yes.
Okie dokie. Next category: biggest time killer / time suck. Well, I know what I could do here, but I'm not going to give that game any words because it can go F itself. So I'm going to say Mass Effect Andromeda. It was nice to take a spin in the Andromeda Galaxy on the Not Normandy with the Not Normandy crew, and hang out with some Asari, Solarians, Krogans, and humans. It was great. For like maybe the last time. Who knows? But we'll see. If it was the last time, it was the last time. But I did not not like any of the time I spent in that universe. It was great. It was at the whole time, and it was open world on every planet. Well, the hub worlds were open world. I mean, that's the whole thing. Whatever the minor planets, can really go down there and explore like in Mass Effect 1, whatever. But like in the big giant hub worlds, you go and explore. That was I thoroughly enjoyed just hanging out, and like the PB. Oh man, the PB just banter just. So my dad's a Whatcha. I mean, not a Whatcha. My dad's an Elkhorn. My mom's an Asari, so that's why I'm so weird. And, all the weird banter
that would be a
and
weird
random
combination,
facts that you get from her, and the loyalty missions, and then man, it's great. It was great. F the haters on that one, man. It was a great time. So yeah, for sure, Mass Effect Andromeda.
F the haters in the B. Robot dinosaur.
I still need to to go back and finish my Sister Rider playthrough.
Well, I am going to give it to Dest. Of course, it's Paragon.
I was just about to say, don't even lie. Don't even lie.
Dest is the one. Like Paragon is the reason I played like nothing in 2017. I'm here about Nier and like Gravity Rush. I was like, oh yeah, those games did come out. But I didn't play any of them. Like I didn't even buy them this year, which I guess is something to be proud of. Usually I would have them and be like, well, I didn't play them. But yeah, no, it's definitely got to be Paragon. 1,000 some hours in 2017. I don't know what they did. Like I think about it, it's like, what did they do to make me play every day? It's like, was it the daily challenges? Like, well, lots of games have daily challenges. Was it like, what were they giving me as the reward that was making me play so much? And I have no idea. I just really liked to play the game, and sad that it's going to be gone at the end of April. But yeah, Paragon.
It's somehow Tekken's fault.
How's it my fault?
Does Paragon count? Did it come out last year?
It probably...
It never came out.
Technically started playing it last year, so I mean...
Okay. The game never...
I did too, actually.
Because it went into open beta.
Can't do it.
Okay.
Because it was closed before that, and you had to like give out your friend code for anybody to use it, so it didn't come into open beta until last year. The sad thing is, last year they also said that they were going to release it.
I know.
This year.
They said this year
And
is like
then-
it's gonna be released, and it's gonna have ranked mode and all the stuff, and I was like, yeah. And then they were like, no.
Nah, we changed our minds. It's not Fortnite.
In an alternate dimension, tried to close on an esports team for Paragon. Makes it big, you know, living the life.
Probably not. Like it's.
Never
You
mind.
would think that I would be way better at a game that I spent 1,000 hours playing, but I was like, I think the thing is, because of the way matchmaking works, you always play people around your skill level. And then it's a team game, so even if like you're better than the rest of your team, oftentimes that is not enough to get a win, and it was all based on like team wins. So you're sort of stuck around playing like the same groups, and you would either like totally steamroll them.
Drafted because you would have like the right stuff to be on like a team of people that are at your level, and then you would ascend to be in like the 1% of people that are good enough to do that stuff.
Unfortunately, that was not the case.
That would be.
That is not how matchmaking worked.
Man.
You'd be like, I'm out of here, guys. I'm moving to South Korea. The dream is happening. Seoul, man. Yeah, it's happening. I'm on a major esports team now. I'm better than Aimless. I don't need to podcast anymore. He would leave us. And it's like, what? Taking RPG forever? No. But yes. What?
That seems unusually dramatic, but okay. I guess that's the logical way to go with this.
But luckily we're in the darkest timeline. It didn't happen, so here we are.
In the darkest timeline, yeah. Our dreams never come true.
Only nightmares.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
Embrace eternity.
it's crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever played anything as much as I played Paragon, and yeah, just insane. So much Paragon.
There was a lot of Paragon.
I don't even know if I can do like that again with any other game.
Well, I can't trust any other game now, so I feel like I've been lied to. So now something else comes out and I'm like, yeah, I can't trust you. I can't trust you because I gave Paragon my heart. And it was like, I won't hurt you, but then it hurt me.
Definitely glad I did not go through that, because I would definitely be jaded after that. Of like a year of game and beta, of like, oh man, Oh man, full version coming out next year. Full version comes out next year. Just getting hyped. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Tekken's ready. Tekken's ready. And it's like, sorry, Tekken, we're not going to continue development. We have this Fortnite thing. We're making a lot of money. So money, dear boy, money. What? No, capitalism. And just, yep.
Money, dear boy,
Just
money.
like
So the cool
Just
thing
like
though is like I did get my refund recently, and I was like, oh wow, full refund. So that's great.
Or is it?
Well, I mean,
Is it-
I would have
is it coming
preferred
true?
that my money allowed them to continue, but no, they're like, your money's no good.
It's useless to us now. It's useless, just
well,
like your
Trump,
love and
you may have
support.
money, but we have Fortnite money now, and it's way more and way more than your money. So
That was one of the things. Like when I requested the refund, it was like, do you want a like money refund, or can we give you Fortnite money?
It's like, I don't want your stupid Fortnite money. Give me my real
And I was
money
like,
back.
Nah, that's okay.
You know you wanted that Fortnite money.
you've taken back the cocaine. Would you like some crack? Okay, whatever.
LOLs. It's funny because they are similar drugs. I guess Paragon would be mine too. I mean, I spent a butt ton of time in there, all because of Tropical Law. It's like, hey, RPG, you should totally play this game that's not gonna die next year. You're gonna love it. You're going to love it, said every drug dealer ever. And then next thing you know, scratching ourselves in back alleys like, I need my fix. I need more. When's more? When's the next character coming? When's the next costume coming? Yeah, give me some
Oh
more.
man, it's all
Give me
documented on
some
the podcast
more.
too. It's like draft dodging day, new character
Yeah.
day. RPG and Tropical talking about it. Can't wait. New characters out. Draft dodgers. Oh, they're in the game. We just want to play new characters. Even draft dodgers. Ah. There's Paragon grass now. They're coming out with grass. New maps.
There was-
There's going to be a whole new map.
Grass.
It's going to have grass in it. I can't wait. I got a pro for it.
That's what I'm saying, like,
You'll never be able to go back to that grass.
All right, he did buy a whole new console for that, didn't you?
I've always chosen my consoles with like really weird, like people would not go for a console like PS3 I wanted because of Virtua Fighter 5. Like, did anyone else get a PS3 for Virtua Fighter 5?
I didn't even know Virtual Fighter 5 was on the PS3, so yeah, there's that.
And PS4 Pro is just like, oh, Paragon Grass. Like 4K, I don't care about that. I've looked at it; they look kind of the same. But Paragon Grass, like, look how different it looks with grass.
So much grass. So much grass. What you must have been smoking to think that you needed a console for that. But it's fine. It's fine. It's all fine.
It's weird, like, you know, despite all these characterizations of me being like a drug addict and
More
And
dealer
feel
than
rash-
anything.
I was able to kind of walk away from Paragon without any withdrawal or anything.
That's because you found new crack.
Did I though? Because I haven't been playing Monster Hunter like I played Paragon.
Well, it's not necessarily Monster
Nothing-
Hunter. It's just
Nothing
that
can replace Paragon, but nothing has needed to. I guess like it's weird. I guess I truly have no truly have no addictive tendencies.
it's a leap of faith. I don't know the rest of the words, but I do know it's a circle. The circle of life. I'm sad now. Although I did love The Lion King, though, so I mean, there's that at least. But that aside, I'll never get that tier 3 pop star thing. Man,
I never did it.
I'm sad. I'm sad.
Also, random fact: RPG's Palico in Monster Hunter World is named Shimby.
It's a tribute. It's a tribute to Paragon.
Immortalized forever.
Because I was like, listen, there was a period in Paragon where I had to spread her gospel because everybody was like, oh, Shimby, she's garbage. Oh no. She's the worst. Why are you doing that? See? I don't understand. See? I was like, I mean, I guess, but so then they're just like, no, pick somebody else. RPG, please choose a different character. RPG, please choose a different character. And I was like, nope. Get good, Scrubs. Get good. Or GTFO.
There's so many Paragon stories.
But at the end of the day, people stop asking me to change characters, though. So yeah, yeah. Who's the real winner there?
From the spotlight.
Yeah, yeah. All kill bitches.
All right. So yeah, Paragon, we knew you well. Rip.
We should do like a memorial thing. A memorial of.
Oh yeah,
we lost last year.
We lost Marvel Heroes.
Visceral Games.
Omega.
It's so
We lost Visceral
hard to say goodbye.
Do we lose? I think we lost Kill something. Kill Strain. Yes.
Did we lose Killstrain?
I think Kill Strain is gone.
I think the Sleeping Dogs developers, that team.
Oh, United Front Games.
Yeah. Rip.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Pour one out, guys. Pour one out. What would we pour out? Like Mountain Dew or something? That's like, right? Games. Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Pour out a Mountain Dew for your homies, guys. We lost quite a few last year.
And then with microtransactions and the backlash, who knows what the ramifications could be this year? Oh,
Oh no. Oh no. He's right.
Let's see.
Ramifications. Ramifications.
Next category, best looking game. Easily, I can easily say this without like saying there's anything that comes close to it. Horizon Zero Dawn.
What is happening right now?
I will forever
What's
be
happening?
curious
What
as
was
to what
that?
Aloy was listening to on her focus during the montage training session, because it's like, dude, what was it? Was it Eye of the Tiger? Was it a mix?
She was
it
listening to Horizon Zero Dawn, stabbing robot dinosaurs in the butts. She's like, yeah, I can get behind that. I can stab some. I can go for some robot stabbing in the butt. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. And the next thing you know, she grew up to be a butt stabber. So, dream realized.
And then on my Facebook feed, I saw my memories from last year, and yeah, that Moonlight effect, without equal, best Moonlight effect I've ever seen in my life still, so yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Stabbing
Just-
robot dinosaurs.
Everything.
What?
So pretty.
It was pretty.
I mean, technically, I guess so, like, even technically it looked really good, but it's just like visually it looked really good. It's like everything was so good looking. Horizon.
Like me in the morning. Like me in the morning. Stabbing robot dinosaurs.
It was a beautiful game.
It was. It really was. A game I didn't finish until this year. I regret nothing. I regret nothing.
What would you say was the best looking game of the year, RPG?
Well, I'm going to be different, and I'm going to choose Persona 5 because that game was super stylish. Like, I'm pretty sure I went on and on about it during the time when I was actually playing it, but everything was so cool looking that I was just like, this man, this is what Persona games needed to look like, and they did not, because now all the other Persona games are crap. So I was like, after this, I was like, yeah, I can't, man, I can't ever go back, because I thought those games were stylish when I played them before, but then when I played this, I was like, man, you guys are garbage. Get good, Scrubs. Get good. So Persona 5 looked great. And like I said, it was very stylish. Everything was all nicely stylized and all cuckoo banana pants when you had to do special attacks and stuff. It was nice. It was nice. Even the interface was done nicely. It was really nice. Everything was nice and stylish. I liked it, man. I liked
Banana!
it. I liked it.
Ah, man. There were a lot of pretty games last year.
There were. I think we hit our stride this generation.
Yep, I would agree with that. Oh wow! I just realized that Uncharted Lost Legacy was
Lost
last
Legacy.
year. It also looked amazing, but I already gave it to Resin, so
Too late.
whatever.
I
Get
think
good, Uncharted. Get good.
I feel like Horizon did look just like it was more colorful
Yeah,
for me,
the color palette was more varied.
which means for you guys it must have been ridiculously colorful.
It was gorgeous, gorgeous. And I was like, how can Tropical not see this? He's living his life horribly. Get good, Tropical. Tell your eyes to get good.
Oh,
I feel sad for you, Tropical. You'll never know the beauty. You'll never know the beauty of colors. You only see the normal stuff. You don't know what shades are. Welcome to Aimless Podcast.
Isn't it just like the reds that you have trouble?
Welcome to Aimless Podcast.
Because we were playing Destiny 2 and like you're calling out the thingies and it's like, wait, I can't really see.
Oh, well, to be fair, that time it was because someone was not sitting on the platform, so none of them. But I was staring at a wall and they all looked the same. I was like, oh no, I think we have a problem. But no, it was like they were not on the plate.
Guys, mistakes were made.
Biggest spectacle / moment in the game? Man, this one's hard for me just because there were a lot of, like I said, over 9,000 moments, and just to say like which one is the best, it's like, man, because Horizon was basically really awesome, but there weren't really that many awesome moments. I mean, there were, but it's like mostly boss fights, but they're the best boss fights. I was like, yeah, but then Nier had so many, but then it's like there's another game where I was like, that one.
Nier had a lot of WTF moments, is what Nier had. Like that time it gave birth to a man out of a robot egg thing. Yeah, that happened. That happened.
And then Guiders 2
Japan.
had that awesome over 9,000 moment as well, and it looked very pretty because it's like cel shaded. Man, it's still a thing. Yay! Didn't give up on it. But I'm gonna say that the train sequence, Uncharted Lost Legacy. Oh yeah, where Chloe goes in to save the day because she is more than just a thief, and she has her conscience is her guide, and she's like, I can't just let these people get blown up by these chemical weapons, so I'm gonna go in and do something about it. Yeah, and it was a culmination of all the awesomeness of the Uncharted series that you've known and loved. 'Cause it's like train sequence, shooting, fighting, fisticuffs, all the stuff you live and love, and the sweet vehicle stuff that they had in 4. And it's like, oh man, and it looks amazing. And it goes and goes and goes, and then you get there, and it's like, oh man, and then throw down, fisticuffs, and just, it's great, it's great, it's great. It was effing amazing. So yeah. Sorry, Nier and your amazing 2D shooter sections that made me gush all over the place, but Uncharted's kind of untouchable in the in the moment game play. Just saying, it was delicious.
You didn't touch him hard enough in his sweet going spot. That was your first mistake.
Mine is still from Horizon, but it's not one of the boss fights or anything that was supposed to happen. It was a thing that I witnessed while running around in the wilderness. What is the one that like burrows under the ground?
The rock cracker or something, rock breaker.
I don't know. I only met them like once.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Again.
But it was one of the red ones, the corrupted ones. But it was 2 of them, and they were on this mountain in the middle of somewhere, and it was like one of the corrupted zones. And it was still pretty early in the game, and this was like the first one I ever seen. I was like, "What the heck is that?" And I didn't seriously go think about like going over to attack it. But I was just in this area because there was a another creature that I'd never seen, which was the big, like, cargo one that does the stomping
crab
attack.
things?
No, it was the big the big one. It's like it looks like a buffalo, but like
Oh,
gigantic.
Yeah, that one.
It was like in that area, and I had run into one, and it killed me. I was like, "Oh, cool! Like, I want to go try to kill one of those." And like, I was in the area, and I couldn't find it. I was like, maybe it's not here yet. Like, I had to reload the game, so I was waiting around, and then I saw it, and it was like fighting the two like burrowing ones, which was crazy because they were like popping out of the ground and like shooting tons of rocks at it, and it was like running over and doing its stomp. It was like, I would not see something like that again until this year's Monster Hunter with the turf wars. Like, that's what was happening. Like, these two things, the corrupted ones, are just super aggressive, and I didn't know this before I saw this. They were just like attacking everything that went near them. So it took them a while, but they finally killed that one. And I was like, cool, I'm just going to be opportunistic and run over and grab some stuff. And I grabbed all the stuff and I left. And I was just like, I just kept watching these two giant rock-crushing dune worms, like, attack various robot dinosaurs as they were, like, approaching their area. Until finally, like, they were weakened enough that one of them, I think, actually got killed. I was like, all right, I think I can take the other one. It's probably weak enough. And just like this whole sequence. No, I actually got it, but it was like this whole sequence was just so epic and random that is like, yeah, even like, when was that? That was February, March? Still stands out to me. When I first saw the turf wars, I was like, oh, this is that thing. But they designed it so it has like cool animations. So now, like, next year I'm probably gonna say turf wars are the biggest spectacle that I've seen in 2018.
I saw the one with Adagana and the Valhazak dude. I was like,
you saw it, yes.
Adagana is my new favorite. I'm gonna call him like Honey Badgerosaurus from like now on. It's like I gotta make his armor and just like wear it because. Testament to that beast of just like I don't give a f.
He turns for
anything.
Everybody.
I'll bully you all. I'm the Cobra Kai of this Evan game. I don't care. I'm gonna strike fast, strike hard, and sweep the leg.
Just like that. But yeah, he's like super aggressive. It's always like I'm like, dude, chill out. What's going on? But yeah, he turf wars with like everybody. And then I saw my first. Turf war with the Elder Dragons, and I was like, oh, that's cool, because I didn't even know, because usually there's only just one of them. There's usually never two, but I guess whatever mission I was doing, one of them just happened to be two of them, and then like Kushala got like slid like a hockey puck, and I was like, holy crap, this is happening. So yeah, that was fun. That was super fun. So, but turf wars are cool. So next year, guys. Next year, you'll have your moment in the spotlight. You're welcome.
What is your biggest spectacle or moment RPG?
Mine comes from Danganronpa again. So, at the beginning of the game, when you're doing all your tutorial stuff and everything, it's kind of like the usual Danganronpa stuff going on. But then you get into the class trial, and then towards the end of it, there's a twist, and it's like, oh my gosh. So that was kind of like a cool thing that they did. I mean, it's one of those things, like, it was a little bit unexpected because of the way they handled it, because it was like, the character in question was heavily featured in the promotional materials and everything, and they made it seem like, oh, this person's going to be your main character, which was kind of like a first for the series or whatever. But then turns out that person was the killer, and then you ended up switching to somebody else in the next chapter, and it's like, oh my gosh. So it was kind of cool that they did that. But yeah, it was a pretty awesome moment for that game, and I was like, this is great. But then I kind of knew that things were going to just spiral out of control from that point on. If that's how they're going to start, and it's like, things are going to get pretty bad, aren't they? So it was a fun little ride, and that moment kind of kicked things off, and then it only escalated from there, of course. So yes, that's
Okie dokie. Next category, most overlooked / sleeper hit. Well, I didn't get around to playing Night Trap, but man, Late Shift was my jam, and I was just like super into the whole doing choices and then having FMV, but it was like super, wow, I lost the word, but like, it was so smooth. It wasn't very like skippy as far as like you choose something and it's like wait a second, or like, it never hitched. It was just very none of the sequences really skipped. It was just like smooth, and there's a word I can't think of, but that when you're doing your choose your thingies and it's FMV style, and it's like it came back, or just, not that it came back, but like I guess it feels like there's a resurgence of that type of game. So it's like people need to check that out and be like, oh man, FMV stuff's pretty cool. So yeah, that would be my pick. And multiple endings that were just like crazy, because like the first time I played it, I was like, what? Super tragic craziness.
Oh.
And I was like, I have to go back and fix this, and I kind of did. So yeah, but there's so much crazy weird things that happen in that game that you can just like have happen, and just it's fun to go through and see them all through. Yeah, play it and stuff. It's a fun time.
Maybe it's the times that we live in, but mine is gonna be Fishing Master.
What?
Tropical's VR fishing game.
It's a VR fishing game. You play with just one move controller because fishing rod.
Seems legit.
It was really neat though, because it was like kind of arcadey. So it starts off and you cast the line, and it feels like, okay, this is like maybe a fishing sim. But then when fish gets on the hook, then you have to like tilt the controller in the opposite direction that the fish is moving, and there's other things you're supposed to do if like the fish jumps out of the water, and there's like insanely large fish that you can catch later with a fishing rod somehow. It was just very chill. It was a very chill fishing game, and you like level up your rods and your reels and all this stuff, and it's like, oh, this game makes sense. The English is poor, but
Fair enough.
Nobody's perfect. I don't know.
Nobody's nerfic.
And yeah, it was just like, I want this. I want this experience to exist, and I'm glad that it does. It's like
You're Tropical.
There was like
I just want you to know that
there was like a Hatsune Miku quote unquote game VR one, and I was just like, it was really cool because all the VR games at the beginning were these very intense experiences. Like Batman VR ends, and it was quite intense for what it was. It was very short, and like Battlezone is very intense, and like Eve Valkyrie is really intense, and then just like being able to sit in this virtual stage.
You're just in a concert, right?
Yeah. Just like watch virtual Miku on the stage and like swing a virtual glow stick. It was like, wow, this is so chill. Why can't there be more VR experiences like this?
It's like, I want to live in this world where I can just escape.
Yeah.
And just enjoy my pop virtual idol person.
It was great.
Thing. As she sang her tones, and she's like, yeah, Tropical, yeah, you're my #1 fan. I'm assuming that's what she sounds like. And then Tropical's like, well, of course. I love you forever, Hatsume Miku. And then, I don't know how those games work, to tell you the truth. I'm just kind of phoning it in. So I'm assuming she does wonderful show-stopping numbers. And, yeah. Everyone's cheering her on and like, yeah, 5 more years, 5 more years. And then next thing you know, she's a superhero that saves the world from a giant morphing weapon called Vegnagun. I might have mixed up a lot of things in that scenario, but it's fine. It's all fine.
Oh man, does she come out to give a amazing performance on a plane when it stops raining, when it has not stopped for like 100 years, And she's
Yes.
like, 1,000 years.
Just like that.
Something,
And then like a weird
1,000
holographic version of her twin shows up and shows her past life of getting shot to death, because that's appropriate for a concert. And it's like, it's fine, guys. And then everyone's all tearing up, and she falls down, and then her two naked friends show up, and they're like, we're here to cuddle you because you're all sad now. And then everyone's all like, what's happening? What are we doing? What are we doing? Is this part of the show? We doing this? And then, yeah. Yeah. And that's basically the plot of Hatsune Miku. So, yeah. Aimless Podcasts, story synopses. You're welcome. We play the game so you don't have to. But you should, because we summarize things very poorly.
So if Hatsune Miku turns into Yuna, who's gonna die so she can do the summoning? Or sending?
I guess some of her stadium fans? I mean, I guess...
What other characters are in Hatsune Miku, and why would you assume we would know?
Also that.
No, I'm just saying if she's in the real world, then everything's fair game. I'm just saying. Is Korea going to unify? Is there going to be a major conflict? Is something going to happen?
Maybe.
Yeah, so this is sort of game related. Isn't that the plot of Homefront?
Yeah, it is.
There's a pop star in Homefront? What's happening?
No, the United Korea, or the original Homefront.
I'm like, I'm so
Which
confused.
was written by a guy who like predicts these things.
And I would always crap on that game whenever it was brought up on the podcast because I was like, that would never happen. That'll never happen. That'll never happen.
And
And
here
now
we
it's
are.
happening. I was like, nah.
Here we are.
Hatsune Miku, save us.
She can. She can. With the power of song. With the power of song.
There's a game like that.
I'm sure there is. It's probably
It's like an
Japanese.
RPG. Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's
like
probably
the
Japanese.
Power of Song or something.
Oh, you're talking about the Arctanelico series. Actually, that is an actual thing, by the way. Power of Song, bruh. Power of Song. But there's also even more into it. There's an actual, like, I think it's, what is it called? It's called something Quartet, where it's like
Yeah, that one.
literal idols.
Oh, yeah.
Are actually
I
the
saw it
super
at PSN
girls.
store for super cheap.
And
like,
I'm not gonna lie, I almost bought it because I was like,
that's the one I'm talking about. I have
"Oh,
it.
is that the way oh, do you? Is it good?" But my actual question is it playable? Because I am okay with just playing it for the sake of having magical girl idols beating people into submission with the power of song. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna buy it anyway. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm gonna do it anyway. Who the hell's gonna stop me? And I'm gonna buy that other game too. The other magical girl game. Yeah, it's happening. It's all happening now. What's it called? Blue something? It's like Blue Rhapsody or something. No, I don't care. I'll find it. I'm gonna buy it. It's happening. It's happening. So you guys see me streaming these things soon. You know why. You know why. I did it. It's always because of Tropical. He's the worst pusher. It's like, hey kids, you want some candy? And by candy, I mean cocaine. Have some. It's delicious. It's delicious.
That should be my. What's a subtitle for a human? I don't know. Game pusher.
What's a subtitle for a human? That is a.
What does it even mean?
Your title or something? I don't know.
Job title?
What's your It's like
Is
a
it Mr.
tagline, but
Mrs.?
for people.
For people, it's called
Your
I
motto?
don't know. No, I guess it would be like a motto, kind of. I don't know. I don't think people have slogans or taglines. It's just like, I guess
Subtitles.
they're just called titles. If you're
Game pusher is my middle name.
kind of like that. Kind of like that.
No, you're the handler.
But seriously though, her parents need to get it together. They're like, first name the, last name handler. She is going to be the best. It's like, but what if she wants to be a hunter? Nope, handler it is. She's gonna be an effing handler, and she's gonna like it. And then she finally meets you, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to be a handler." And you're like, "No one wants to actually be a handler. What's wrong with you?" So, yeah. Also, the plot of Monster Hunter World. We're nailing it, guys. We're nailing it. Just putting that out there.
What is your most overlooked sleeper hit RPG?
Of course, one of my favorite games from last year. Why do I keep talking in an accent whenever I do this? It's probably going to be Children of the Zodiac Killer. Because that game was just righteous. Just righteous. So, yeah. So that game, I think it came out like in the summer or something, but it's a cute little turn-based strategy RPG. All kinds of fun stuff was happening, and you kind of like, it was like semi-card, semi-dice, semi-turn-based strategy. It was like a lot going on. So it was a pretty fun game with a cool battle system and lots of fun stuff to be had and everything going on. So I really enjoyed it, and I don't think a lot of people, I mean, I never really heard anybody talking about it, so I don't know if it was like one of those things where people even knew about it or people even bothered to care or what's going on, but yeah, I really like that game. I'm kind of sad that no one ever said anything about it, but, to each his own.
I think I bought it on sale. It's just in my backlog. Like everything else.
Omega Quintet is that one.
Omega Quintet, yes, that's the one. Gonna buy it. Don't come for me.
Okay.
Game Pusher.
Last category. Game of the Year. I just want to give a shout out, honorable mention to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, because in the age of money, dear boy, money, you're just gonna pump out these sequels after sequels. That's all you're gonna make, and you'll never make anything else because we need that money, and you're not gonna have artistic independence, and that's all you're gonna ever do. Ninja Theory was like, no, we're not gonna do it. We don't need a publisher. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make a game. It might be half a game. It doesn't ever matter. And gonna give it AAA production values and release it at $30 and see how good it does. And it worked. So, no longer do you need to be whatever to the publisher that you're all, shackled to and doing deals with and all that stuff. You can be free, like Ninja Theory. But yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. But, my game of the year is, it's no surprise, Horizon Zero Dawn. I couldn't stop gushing about it all year long, and I was like, RPG, you played it yet? You finished it yet? You played it yet? You finished it yet? You get to that part? You get the part with three choices? The three choices? Three choices?
I didn't get to that part. You did keep asking about it. It was driving me crazy.
And then, she's got, Ayla's a cool character. She's got a cool arc about her, and her, stuff that goes down. And then the old ones, where are the old ones? And it could happen. And then that game, man, that game effing changed me. Just like 2017 effing changed me. And it's like, you know what? Maybe we have too much technology. And maybe we should just take a break from our robots that do backflips that chase us down and do things to us. And maybe we should think about these things more and more before we're like, you know what? We need a robot that does a backflip. And it could backflip us or backflip us down a stair or over some stairs and then kill us or whatever. Or it can drive and all these other things. It's like, whoa. Just put the brakes on, dude. Put the brakes on, because did you not play Horizon Zero Dawn? Did you not see what they did? To be like, oh man, we're at the peak of our society, blah blah blah, all this technology, oh man. And then good old that one guy, Pharaoh, whatever his name is, was all like,
oh yeah, Ted, my homie.
I'm gonna put a I'm not gonna put a backdoor on this, and it's gonna be a quantum whatever, and we're gonna put some AI in it. It can do whatever it wants, and then we're gonna just let these machines do all the things. It'll be cool. They're AIs. They should do whatever, and their energy source biomass. It'll all work out. It didn't all work out, guys. And yeah,
It
okay.
didn't. It really didn't.
And then you go through like the flipping the archives and the texts and the audio recordings. Like, oh, how is society before the fall? It's like, oh, climate change. Just climate refugees. Oh, stuff that's like happening now. Maybe we should look into that and maybe fix it or something before it gets better. But it's like, no, it's okay. We'll just build a wall to keep us safe. Whatever, man.
I mean, all they have to do to fix ourselves is just like get some robots, man. It's fine.
It's like
Nothing
if
can-
any
yeah,
game
that's-
proves that more robots and more technology don't solve the every problem, it's having a Horizon Zero Dawn. So it's like, to me, this is like,
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
this is like a humanitarian game of like, you think your technology is going to save you. It's not going to save you. It could make it worse. It literally could make it worse. So, and then you have like some whole propaganda of like, well, this is what's happening, but they're lying to you. What's actually happening is something else, but I can't say because it's a spoiler, and it's super awesome.
is a
And you find
massive
out,
spoiler.
you're like, oh man, and yeah, and then you find out the truth. And you're like, what? What did he? Why, Ted? Why? Ted? Why'd you do it, man? He's like, money, dear boy, money. I couldn't help myself. It's like, we need to
did.
find better things than money, dear boy, money. It's not always about the money. Ah. So,
Oh, it's always about the money.
So, at the end of the day, your money and technology, it ain't gonna save you from robot dinosaurs. And maybe if you played Horizon Zero Dawn, you'd learn that. You learn that lesson. And be able to pass it on. And be like, no, technology is not always a good thing.
Because if Horizon
isn't
Zero
the only thing
Dawn
that matters.
existed in the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, they probably would have never did this. Because they would have warned themselves. Like, we warned ourselves, guys. We played the game of this already.
Also, Wichita is mentioned, and I'm super happy because that's my hometown where I live. And we have beachfront property. It's great. And it's like, oh, well, that's something to look forward to. But, the rest of the world's wrecked and ruined.
I
So maybe not so much. I mean, that's like
the world kind of doesn't exist anymore, basically.
the worst silver lining ever. But, I can finally live on a beach. Whatever. So,
It's not all it's cracked up to be, I assure you.
yeah, like the climate refugees and like the robot police coming into your house to drag you out and be like, no, you're evicted. Ah, and we're robots, we're not humans, and we're eyes, and how's that work? So, just a lot of things to think about, and maybe it's not so great. Maybe all that technology and money's not so great. And we should find another way, like go plant a tree and be like, yes, I will nurture this
Go
tree
plant a tree.
and live off the sustenance, and it'll suck out the carbon. Okay, not all the carbon, but if I plant enough trees, that won't be an issue. It's like, because they breathe in carbon monoxide or whatever the bad stuff is, and then we're good. Just more trees, less technology, and less killer robots, and less greed. And that's what Horizon Zero Dawn taught me. Is like, on the one hand, we are on the precipice. And we're so close. We're so close. But on the other side, we're on the brink, man. We could just fall off the cliff and be like, ah, like fade away, just like Hayashi did when he fell. Ooh, almost spoiled that. Or Kazuya when he throws him over. And he's like, I'm throwing you into the ravine now, and the volcano, just on the one hand, we're so close. We're right there. Just gotta grab up and pull ourselves, or we could just like slip and fall all the way down and be like, no, this is the end. Rosebud. Ah.
Wait, what? It's a sled. There's always a sled.
So yeah, on the one hand, super close. On the other hand, super close, but in a bad way. So what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Darkest timeline. Are we going to cleanse ourselves and make this go away, or is it just gonna just follow it to the logical conclusion of robot dinosaurs eating us all the time? Yeah.
I mean, we had a good run. I'm just kidding. We had a horrible run.
A good run doesn't lead to the end.
I mean, you and I have very different definitions of good runs. Then, I mean, potato, bruh. Potato.
Nobody says potato.
I do. Don't be judging me. Jerk. Nobody says potato. They do in New Zealand.
Do they? Anyway, yeah, I guess Game of the Year is supposed to be Zelda, which someone has told me is the best game they've ever played.
Oh, my.
But since I didn't play it, Horizon Zero Dawn, and we'll leave it at that.
I gotta say, dude, like the last two, was it DICE, I think, or GDC? It wasn't GDC, it was DICE, but like, you know, FN, 1 year it's Overwatch, and the next year it's FN Breath of the Wild. It's like, whatever, man. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over it, mainstream gaming press. Like, you can go after yourselves, you know. You're like, oh, the things I want from games, blah, 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 blah. Let's just sit over here in the Greek fountains and espouse about gaming and art and blah, 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 high concept, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, Game of the Year, Overwatch. Oh, Game of the Year, Breath of the Wild. It's like, really, one game's like a effing FPS experience with, like, cartoony characters, and the other one's, like, just Zelda with, like, modern, whatchamacallits. Whatever, dude.
Everything.
Modern manner.
Whatchamacallits.
Modern. There's a word I can't think of. I'm blanking. Modern sensibilities.
Sensibilities.
That's. It's like, you know what? You know, pick a real game. Okay, no, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But like, you know, pick a. You know, I mean, I've a bone to pick with those choices, and it's like, you know, I think this is just where the line is drawn, and we have a Padme Anakin split because I can't go down the path you're going down, and like the things you're doing. So it's like, you know. You want to be all super serious all the effing time, and it's like, oh, cartoony funland, ho ho! It's like, have you not looked outside in the darkest timeline to see what's going on? That is not going to say
timeline. Nah.
Whatever. Randover. Continue, RPG.
My game of the year is, drumroll please, that was a weird drum roll. Just want to point that out.
I don't have actual
But
so you know.
I'm going to choose Persona 5 because, obviously, Persona 5. If anyone ever thought it was going to be anything other than that, you should be punched in the face because you should know better. Because Persona 5. So, but yes, this game, I had been waiting for so long, and then it got delayed, then it got delayed again, and then it got delayed again, and then they showed it, and then they showed more, and it was great. And I'm so glad it happened. It was like super stylish, and it was wonderful. And then I enjoyed every minute of it. It got weird, it got normal, it got weird again. It was great. It was great. I laughed, I cried. I was like, oh no! And then I was also like, well, duh. And then it's just like, it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it. So, Persona 5, guys. Persona 5. Because I forgot what the theme song says, but do that thing. Do that thing.
So for you, after all these years of waiting, and Persona 5 and Kingdom Hearts 3 finally being here, like, what is there to look forward to after those two?
Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 hasn't happened yet, so we're still okay. It's fine. We're all fine.
Coming.
Otherwise, the world is going to fall apart, and we're going to be doomed. So yeah. But don't forget, we still have Valkyria Chronicles 4 this year, and then, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3, and then I'm sure other stuff will matter, but it won't. Because
I'm just saying, like, you know, after a certain point, there's a point where it's like, nowhere to go but down, just saying, because, you know, I played Horizon, I was like, man, there's not going to be a game like this for a while. And that's, like, kind of true, because it's been a while. And I haven't been touched by glowy orange spot like that, so, you know, just saying. Still waiting.
Oh, my. Well, I mean, E3 will be in a few months, so maybe somebody will surprise you with something there. We do get
final season of Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us effing season 2 finally. But that being said, I had a conspiracy theory. I was thinking about this a lot. Like, I was like too much thinking about this, and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh dear.
I think they meant episode 1 in this year, not like the whole season. So it's like, calm it down, Tekken. Simmer down a bit, mofo, because you're gonna.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't get the rest until next year.
The scratch. You're not get the whole thing. Just like one episode, and then, you know, they just want to like sprinkle along there, and then be like, oh yeah, Tekken. You thought you could do the whole thing? Ha ha ha, just a tease. You got to wait for the entire season. You're going to get one episode this year. But yeah, the rest of the season, who knows? Who knows next year? Have fun waiting.
That is true.
So I guess we'll see if either one gets episode 1 in the first half of the year. I'd be happy. If not, whatever, I'll still be happy. So, you know. Big B and Clementine, I cannot wait.
Right until Clementine dies.
I mean, I guess I'll be fine with that because it's the final season, so it's like, we had a good run.
Or if it turns out that the entire thing was all just a dream in Lee's
I
head.
would be extremely unhappy, and I'd be like, "This is." I would have a 3-hour YouTube video of like why Telltale why you're not good people. Why did you do this to me? That's not
They're
what you're
like,
supposed to do.
we knew you would hate this, so we did it. We did it.
All right, so I guess that's our Golden Crosshairs for this year, 2000 or not this year, last year, 2017. That's usually how that works.
Congrats to the winners. And we will get to those other games we didn't get to play sometime in the future.
No, we won't. He's lying. He's lying.
On to the news, I guess.
Let's talk news. So, in the time since we last recorded, I believe, we learned that Detroit Become Human is coming out in May.
It has a release date now, yes.
May 25th. So, yay! That could be cool.
Right before E3.
It's right before E3. I'm going to be too excited to play video games at that time. Don't they know better? Don't they know better?
And speaking of release dates, Injustice 2 will finally be released March 30th. The Legendary Edition was announced, which basically has everything.
Turtle power.
Including Turtle Power. Which is, of course, the Ninja Turtles are playable in Injustice 2. But yeah, basically the complete version is coming out March 30th.
Oh, we were waiting for that, weren't we?
We also learned some stuff. So the Switch's 1-year anniversary passed recently, and it is now the fastest selling console ever.
What? It is?
Sold 14 point something million units in its first year, surpassing the Wii, which was 13 some million units in the first year, and the PS4, which was also 13 some million units in the first year.
Wow.
Congratulations, Nintendo.
Insane, you guys!
I find that I'm in disbelief. I'm in disbelief.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, like I said, after the disappointment that was the Wii U, everybody's probably just ready to latch on to like, oh my god, yes! A good one! Let me have it! So then that happened.
Well, I think, coupled with that, like, they had actually really appealing software in the first year, which is insane. Like, Mario Odyssey is not like a tiny Mario port or whatever. It's like the next Mario game and like the next Zelda game both came out in the same year.
I think to me what it shows is just like how undamaged or how undamageable their brand is, because it's like after Wii U, it's like, dude, it's a wrap. Like they had like one more chance, and then people are just like, you are redeemed instantly. It's like, what? Man, that Kool-Aid in the cult I left from Nintendo Land, I gotta say, must be like super amazing, because people just like do not stop drinking it.
It is delicious. I mean, I've had some of it, and it tastes wonderful.
I guess, well, so that's kind of a difference. Like, with the Wii U, there was nothing really like... I mean, Pikmin 3, yeah, it's really great, and, Splatoon was pretty good, and, like, Super Mario Maker is really fun, but it wasn't like the first year of the Switch, which has these like huge games that like everyone would look at and be like, yeah, those are the huge games of Nintendo. Of course we wanted those games. It's hard to say what's going to happen to the Switch in the future. With the Wii U, like, it happened too late. And so then people were just... Wii U got caught in a death spiral, and people weren't going to jump on, because death is not fun.
I mean, it is if
Or
you
so
play
I've heard.
Dark Souls. You don't know, Tropical. You don't know.
I die a lot. Anyway, we also learned some other sales stuff. We mentioned earlier in the show, Monster Hunter World is now Capcom's best-selling game ever in all of their franchises, and
I thought
that
that was
includes
amazing.
like Resident Evil,
Which is
Street
kind of
Fighter. Like
impressive. I was
that
like,
is
they have a lot of
insane.
big name titles in there.
It's Marvel vs.
In there.
Capcom.
Just ridiculous. At what was it, 7.5 million copies shipped.
See, that's the thing about like me. Like, I had like an asterisk on that. I was like, was it really sell through? Because I think that might
Yeah,
be a publisher
shipped.
blowing wind about like, oh, look how awesome we are.
Well, it's also on 2
Take
platforms.
their benefit where they don't.
Yeah, I was about to say it's multi-platform. So.
Yeah, we're looking at the other one is Horizon Zero Dawn, 7.6 million copies. Is the best-selling new first-party franchise on PS4, and that's only like a year old. So
And then the PC
And
version
only
for
on one
Watching Your World
platform.
is still coming, so it'll
Yeah.
be better, for sure.
So doesn't matter what kind of robots you want to kill, they're all
kind
the
of
same.
dinosaurs.
They're in the evolutionary same.
They all got the
chain.
same buttholes for you to stab them in. So enjoy.
There is a new PS4 Pro coming out. It's gonna be a Kratos
Oh, I saw that.
God of War's axe inspired design. It's gonna be the same price as a regular PS4 Pro, but it comes with the game. So $399.
And a sweet controller and a sweet paint job.
April 20th. Yeah, this has been finally the console generation in America where there's like lots of different colors of plastic. That's all we wanted.
It's all we wanted.
It's finally here. There is a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. We have no idea what that's going to be about, but
Metroid.
people are going
It
to
won't
be
about Metroid though. Just
speculating.
Just wait,
all night. All night. That's what people are going to be doing. Last thing for me, and I guess this is less relevant now since they're out already, but the PlayStation Plus March games are Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank. So 2 disc games for all the people who complain that they're never disc games. Although you will have to download them.
What do you mean by disc game optical?
Like usually it's like a downloadable game of some sort that's on the thing. That's,
People are like, those aren't worthy. We want real games.
oh, there you
well,
go.
Pretty good games.
There you go.
High
Yes.
profile.
There you go.
AAA.
So now I can help a bunch of noobs just go through Bloodborne now and be like, you're welcome, noobs. You're welcome.
Like me.
Also,
Like Tropical. Get good. Get good.
Also, they said that next year Plus is not going to have Vita or PS3 free games. Just PS4.
Yeah. So starting March of next year, just going to be PS4
I think that was a
games.
missed opportunity. I think they could do something really cool with it, as far as like having it be some sort of like Criterion PS Plus, PS3
Collection.
Vita, collection of like just the good stuff, or just like the really awesome stuff.
Well, the problem is eventually they were going to run out of games for those two.
I'm just saying, it's like
'cause-
the last year they could have been like, we're gonna ride this wave, dude. Of like the last year, it's gonna be awesome stuff. Every month an awesome game in PS3 and Vita. Every month, just the good stuff.
You know, if it's like too tough to negotiate with like other companies, they should just do it with first party.
Yeah.
And just like all instead. So right now, like PS4 or PS Plus is only required on PS4 for online. So PS3 players really have no reason to get PlayStation Plus unless they have this free game. Like, or for a while they called it the Instant Game Collection. Like, I think they should go back to that. So, and just have it be first party, because first party on PS3 and Vita was like, that's where it was at anyway. So just have like a cheaper some sort of service, have your first party. Can't remember the word in English. So that's weird. But yeah, like PS3, Vita, first party libraries, and just have like a cheaper subscription service to keep those people paying, because that's what you want. But yeah, so we still have a year of those. So right now, Bombing Busters, I think, is something on PS4. Claire Extended Cut, which is like a 2D horror game. That one's also on Vita. And then Mighty Number 9 is part of the collection. And Legend of K Anniversary.
Oh, I heard that
on
one was
PS3.
not that great. So
Mighty Number
Exactly,
9.
RPG. That means I don't have to suffer from kickstarting it or buying it. It's a win-win. Yes.
Now you
not
can
for
just
them.
play
It's
it.
Better than
free.
nothing. Oh, especially when it's free. Oh, thank you.
I think they do get some sort of money, though, for being part of the collection. Instant game collection.
I want to be a game collection when I grow up.
Or they could just like
already are.
cycle through the years of PlayStation Plus on PS3 and Vita. That like if you missed it, it'll come back around eventually. It's like a weird non-Sega Channel thing situation. Because you
I
only
guess
get
that
2
would be-
games and not the entire collection of games.
I wonder if not having
But
PS3 and
eventually
Vita
you have
games,
to
that maybe we
order.
might get like an extra PS4
That would
game
be
or
awesome.
something. Or if they're going
At
to-
least not initially. So far, they've just announced that they're ending it, and it's just going to be 2 PS4 games. So
Maybe the quality of the PS4 games will jump up a little bit.
maybe.
Not that the quality is bad for them now. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like the type of games that they're doing, like more disc games, I guess, so people can shut their faces. You know, that kind of thing.
Was that the last story RPG? I mean,
That was that was my last story.
Alright.
No!
last story.
The horse dies. Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's never ending story. Never mind.
Well, there's supposed to be like some sort of like violence in video games situation going on in.
Yeah, but that's not news. That's dumbs.
I'm just
Wait,
saying,
that's
I'm
not
just-
the
I'm
opposite
just
of
saying,
news.
it's
That's-
I just
dark
wanted to say, I was
timeline.
like,
That's
I was like,
old and it's
I was like,
dumb.
what were you doing with that? What?
That-
What is
it's a
Oh,
dark
so
timeline, anything
actually-
can happen. So just be prepared. Be prepared.
That's true. That's true. Basically, the White House has been saying, "Oh, we're gonna meet with members of the game industry to talk about violence in video games," and then everyone was like, "Who?" And then I guess now we know it's gonna be tomorrow, a Thursday, and it's not gonna be a talk with people from the game industry because there's word that people on the other side are also going to be there, so it's going to be more like a debate. But a stupid debate because this debate has been kind of, but I guess science doesn't mean anything now. But yeah, like if you care about science, there is a pretty good like what are these blog posts called? It's a blog post, but it has like links to the various research that's been relevant most recently, and like some videos and stuff, and it's really good. It's on Gamma Sutra. It was written by Mark Deloura, Deloura, and you should go see it. It's good.
Also, video games are protected under Supreme Court ruling, free speech. So
Yes,
we're in good shape. So hopefully nothing bad happens.
it's dumb.
But the darkest timeline, so anything could happen.
It's dumb. So many dumb things have happened.
This timeline.
They know that there are games in other countries, right?
Shh. You're making sense.
Okie dokie. I guess it's time to wrap it up
Cool.
and return whenever we return, because who knows these days.
It's kind of like we're the those shows that have achieved like Rick and Morty. The next episode can come whenever, and you don't care because you love it, and you will wait with bated breath no matter how long it takes. Except we're not one of those shows.
We could be.
We could be.
Okie dokie. So, anything to say before we sign off, RPG?
Yeah. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts.
Anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
Nope, that's it.
Alright, so yeah.
You could also like to say Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, until you hear from us again, it's Rebel Z, and we're now signing off. Video games are art, and they're protected as free speech. Supreme Court, woo! Yeah! Nothing bad's gonna happen, hopefully. Yay!